There we go. Well, look who's back in town. Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. How we doing? San Diego, how we doing? Ben and Paul, holy smokes.
Boy, you missed a fun one yesterday.
Boy, I sure did. Here's the thing, I didn't really miss it. I didn't really miss it. My phone went absolutely bananas. There's an echo. Wonder what that's from. Do I have something on?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay. Was it my mic?
Yeah.
Sorry. Jeez. All right. It's fixed. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be back. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing fantastic. To my left is Ben R. Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Hi, Benjamin.
Good morning and welcome back, sir.
It's good to be back, man. I had not been in a great place mentally for the entire week. And a trip to Disneyland with your 5-year-old for his birthday could go one of two ways, right? It's like, man, I'm already not doing great. I'm already not feeling my best. And this is going to really put me over the edge. But I made a concerted effort to say, dude, it's your kid's birthday. Like, be into it, be present, be good, be patient. And I did. And I was. Now, he bailed me out, as I knew he would. I was listening to you guys in the open. You're like, you, Ben, I mean, the older the kids get, the later you stay. And I'm just laughing along silently under my breath, knowing that my Taylor has got my back. I know he's got my back. And if he doesn't got me, my man Bo's got my back. One of those two has got my back. And my wife, Hannah, is really the one, unbeknownst to her, Ben, that had me home by 2:30 yesterday, 2:30 p.m. Plenty of time for flag football practice at 3:45, which we totally forgot about till our drive back. I knew they'd get me. I knew I wasn't going to have to stay there till 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, drive home, be home at 8, 9. I knew that. I knew it because I knew my guys had me. My wife threw the ultimate curveball at them and forced them to go on a ride that they did not want to go on. And once that ride was over, there was no getting them back. There was no getting them back. It was time to go. And it was, I don't even know what they call it anymore, but it was basically the Splash Mountain ride, which is low-key the scariest ride there. It's got 3 big drops. No seatbelt, by the way. It's the one ride you're in that log
flume ride.
Flume ride. There's no seatbelt. You have to go on a seatbelt for every goobery one that spins around and you're looking at some animals playing a banjo and blowing into a jug. Like that, you have to wear a seatbelt for that. On a log ride with a 50-foot drop, there is no seatbelt. But, Paulie, I am seated up for I'm like, I'm sitting in the spinning car like, oh my God, end this. That one, yeah, no problem.
So Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Adventure. So they didn't want to get wet. They did not want to get wet. They just didn't want to get wet. And Hannah's like, we're going. And I'm like, yo, we're going to go. We're having a good time. I don't want to get wet. I'm like, look, if people come out, look at them. They're not even wet. We got soaked. And I mean, it's beyond soaked. Soaked. Bo got it the worst of anybody. I got it pretty bad. Taylor got it bad. Hannah she was in the front, just murdered with water. So we get out of there like drowned rats. And they're like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, it's noon. This is fantastic. I want to go home. It's my birthday. I go, okay, you call the shots. Let's get some lunch before. We pigeonholed ourselves into lunch. The area we were in the old New Orleans
Square.
Square. They're like, I'm starving. I want to go. I go, all right. So we go into some restaurant, and I'm like, oh, they're going to love these options. Gumbo, muffaletta. They're going to love this. I did see some mac and cheese on the menu, so I got each of them a mac and cheese. I got a shrimp po' boy. At Disneyland. So, dude, we sit there. They looked at their meal. They're like, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. So Taylor's cheese didn't suck, but his macaroni and cheese did. Every day my macaroni and cheese sucks. So, dude, 1 o'clock, they're ready to hit the road. So we hit the road, made it home 2:30. Like it was beautiful. But as I was saying, getting to spend the day with my family, celebrate Taylor's birthday, really set me on a better headspace, right? There's Taylor. If you're looking in the YouTube feed, there's Taylor, just miserable. This is Bo. I took a picture of him. He was sitting there sobbing. So I took a picture of him. He saw me take a picture of him. This is him getting out of his crouch to come and attack me.
Is he about to bite you?
He's about to come. He's about to come swoop. He's about to come. It's his Wolverine look. He was coming out to absolutely slay me, and he was pissed. I don't know. I like when my kids get really upset about pretty innocuous stuff. It makes me laugh. I know I'm a monster. It makes Anna laugh too. We were looking at each other on the ride. They're sobbing, and she's going, ha, 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 and I'm behind her going, you guys are going to be fine. Relax. It's just the craziest experience. But it's such a fun place, man. It's just such a fun place.
Big Dan says, now I know why Taylor thinks he has rabies.
Yeah, no doubt. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Looked like a rabid bat in that picture.
Hans, my friend, we are going to get to the new manager talk. The boys had it some yesterday. I got to give you my reaction, but I wanted to let everybody know that, yeah, we do have 4 hours of the program today. We will not be talking about Craig Stammen for 4 hours. That I can promise you. I don't have it in me. Nor is there much to talk about, really, at this point. Like, you guys broke the news yesterday. I was in my slot to get on Space Mountain.
It was about 9:06, probably.
Yep, and we had ridden a couple of rides. We had our beignets, and then we headed over to Space Mountain. And they gave us our slot, and we were waiting in our slot number 5 for Space Mountain. Best ride on the planet, by the way. Like,
yes,
best ride at Disneyland, not by far.
Yeah, I agree.
Incorrect, but that's fine.
No, what's better than that?
I like Thunder Mountain.
I like Thunder Mountain too. Space Mountain's better. It's faster. It's scarier.
It's too fast and too scary.
It's too fast and too scary for you. That's why. But it is. Has it always been the same? Because if that's the case, that's one of the roller coasters that has truly stood the test of time. I mean, the old area, the Tomorrowland or Tomorrowland, it's what they thought the future was going to look like.
Captain EO.
Yeah, and you walk through there and you're like, this place is kind of a dump. But Space Mountain's here. Don't ever eat in Tomorrowland.
How come we don't all get to work in people movers at this point? It's the year 2025. Right. I want my people mover to take me to work.
I'm with you. The Star Wars rides are elite. I'm going to give you that. They're great. But Space Mountain, I'm talking about a roller coaster. That sucker has stood the test of time. It is fantastic. The first time I rode it was 1985. I just rode it in 2025, and it's as good.
Have you guys done
elite
with the boys? Have you done
Not
California
yet.
Adventure
Not
yet?
yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We are going to. We are going to get there. But we still, they're still, you forget, they act like adults, but they're still little babies, man. And they still love.
Are they into like the Pixar movies right now?
No, they like Harry Potter, sports, and they both love Space Mountain. They freaked out on Tiana's Tube or whatever it's called.
Cars Land and the Toy Story games.
They couldn't care less. They really couldn't care less about that stuff. They like to go on the rides and stuff. So I'm standing in line and I get the text. And all it says, now I saw the tweet from a guy by the name of Matt Jones. Right. Kentucky
Padres insider. Matt Jones, who actually broke the news.
So I saw the tweet and I went, okay, whatever. Then I get the text from Paulie. It says, it's Stammen. And I wrote back, I'll give you my honest answer. I wrote no effing way. That was my initial reaction, was no way. Couple different reasons. A, hadn't even thought about it, which we'd said over and over. Ben was really hammering home the point. There's a mystery candidate that none of us know about. We all should have known about him because he's been in the org for a few years. And then my initial reaction was, no effing way. What happened? What happened with Albert? What happened with Ruben? What happened with all of the other guys? And then I go, oh my God, it's Craig Stammen? And I think I had the same reaction as a lot of people. It was really just, I was surprised. And I would say I was slightly like, oh, okay, all right. Like just one of those, like just didn't feel much. Wasn't extreme excitement, and it wasn't like maddening disappointment either. It was just like, oh, okay. And then as the day went on, I went, all right, makes a little sense. And the day goes on, and the day goes on. Now, I'm not in here this morning going, this is an elite hire, unbelievable way to think outside the box. Like, I don't feel that, but I'm also going, all right, well, let's see how he does. Let's see how he does. Haven't heard him speak yet to the media, at least from this capacity. But it was
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Missed that.
Yeah, Monday morning. I feel like I was like, oh, okay. Now, Jay Stingler shocked me, knocked us on our ass. Andy Green was like, what? Who? Okay, young, think outside the box a little bit.
It wasn't a team we expected to be big winners
necessarily
anyway.
Didn't really care per se. We thought maybe
he'll grow into the job with some of the players.
Yeah. Jay Stingler was an absolute shock.
Who the fudge is Jay Stingler?
Right? A lot of Padre fans outed themselves yesterday, though, because I saw more than one person go, I've never even heard of this guy. And I go, all right, well, it's hard for me to make fun of the Dodger fan base as casuals when you've never heard of Craig Stammen. I saw, let's say this, more than one, less than 15, but in that range of I've never heard of this guy before. And I went, how's that possible? How's that possible? So you've just become a fan, which is okay. That's okay. But outing yourself when you don't know who Craig Stammen is and where he's been, I thought that was a little bit telling. If you're between the ages of 13 and 30, you hate this move. You hate it. I almost to a man or woman. You hate it. And I had people in my chat, in my DMs going, I'm done. I'm officially done. And I went, okay. And then if you're between the ages of 35 and maybe 45, you're like, oh, this pisses me off so much. I'm thinking about doing something drastic. If you're 45 and over, you're like, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's kind of what I felt yesterday.
I was fairly surprised as well, obviously, by the move. But as the day wore on, like you, I saw the positives to it, which was Craig Stammen instantly will be someone that the team likes. Because we know they do.
Yeah.
The superstars already respect him and like him. That's more than half the battle as a manager. Will he be a good strategist? Does he know what he's doing? That's obviously my big question. Is he going to have the instincts to make, as the game speeds up, as we've talked to managers who will tell you, gets pretty fast there. Even though it's a slow game, can get fast in the 8th and 9th inning when, the other manager's making a move and you've got to counter and be ready for everything. Is he going to be able to handle that aspect of the job? I don't know. I have no idea. But kind of the biggest part is, does he walk in there and does half the team go, who's this guy? And no one will. They will instantly go,
yeah, he's been around.
This is Craig Stammen. I know him. I trust him.
He's been around.
I like him. I respect him. Like everybody in that clubhouse will start from right that point, that they know him, they trust him, they respect him. So it's a lot of the battle for a new manager in any team at really any level.
Yeah,
is having that trust of your team. And I think he already has it going in.
Guys, and there's still some just bananas takes. Anyone else see Albert suing the Padres? For what? He interviewed for a job and didn't get a job. You can't sue somebody. Hey, you kept me for 9.5 hours. I want $100,000. It doesn't work that way, guys.
That is what he usually got paid during his career.
Right.
About $100,000 per 9 hours.
But like,
probably more.
But like the some of the takes are just bananas to this point. Some of them are measured, reasonable. Some of them are a little over the top. Again, I think the over the top is hell yeah, like let's go, we ride. Like I don't feel that. I could get there. You know how I could get there? You win a buttload of baseball games. That's how you can get me on board, and that's how you can get a lot of Padres fans on board. But I do think we had reservations about Albert Pujols that we expressed many, many times. Great name, Hall of Fame. Is he ready to do this for 162 and everything that entails? my same reservations were with Ruben, Nick Hundley. These are guys I know. These are guys I like. I still had reservations. You guys have never done it. And my reservations with Craig Stammen is you've never done this. You've never done this.
You pitched. Was there even a candidate that was a slam dunk?
No.
That's the obvious choice.
Did any team hire someone? Skip Schumacher with the Rangers.
That's one I would have liked.
Who was already hired when Mike Shildt stepped down. But every manager hire since then pretty much is the same questions.
Yeah.
Are you excited about Craig Albernaz or Tony Vitello or Walt Weiss as a new manager? Derek Shelton. There's no one out there that was the slam dunk. Oh, you've got to get this guy. Joe Torre in his prime was not one of the candidates for managerial openings this offseason.
Right.
Just, you're not finding those guys right now.
Speaking of Tony Vitello, he's got old friend Jace Tingler as his bench coach. I saw that the other day.
Is that right?
They were college roommates
nice.
at Missouri, and he called Jace, and now Jace will be the bench coach with the Giants.
Yeah, I mean some of the reservations that I've seen, I'm not saying are not valid, right? I think some of the reservations that you have about Craig Stammen are absolutely valid. Per the people that know him, respect in the clubhouse is not something he's going to have a hard time garnering. And yes, that includes Manny and Tatis, which is already in our chat. Chalk it up on the bingo card.
They love him.
They love him. Joe Musgrove loves him. Now, Eric Hosmer also loves him. So I understand that reservation. I do. Teddy Leitner sent out an interesting tweet at about midnight talking about how many times he told Jesse Agler, this dude's going to be a manager one day. There's no question about it. He said he's got a ton of integrity. Like at the end of the day, he's a good human being, which is important, I think, for me, for sure. Very important. And I think that's great. Now, can you win baseball games? That's what it boils down to. Can you manage a bullpen? That's what it boils down to. How am I going to judge a dude with no track record on doing this until I get a track record? If he sucks at it, I'll be the first to tell you he sucks at this. He's not good at managing a bullpen.
I will say that was always my biggest question mark. Managing a bullpen, hardest thing that a new manager has to do.
Correct.
Craig Stammen lived in one for pretty much 13 years in the major leagues. He's at least seen it up close from his end, his perspective as a reliever. That's the thing. You don't see pitchers or relievers. He's the only former pitcher now who was a manager in Major League Baseball, and a relief pitcher to boot. That's unusual. That's definitely outside the box in terms of what sort of manager you're hiring. But if you're looking for someone who can manage a bullpen, maybe a former reliever isn't the worst idea.
I mean, and at the end of the day, too, like Rocky says, coaching experience has to count for something. And as I understand, Stammen has none. Neither did Albert Pujols. Neither did Nick Hundley. And if those, these are the guys that we knew were up for the job. Don Mattingly had some. Ruben has no.
I think they interviewed Brandon Hyde. I saw yesterday, former Orioles manager. He had some, but
Ruben had no managerial experience as well. Obviously, has coaching experience. But Stammen has I guess he was in player development and things like that. So he's been around the org. That was a plus for me. We can go through pros and cons.
It was pretty wild to learn, like, he was literally on the other side of the table in the interview room.
That
came out after our show yesterday.
That part was wild.
And he's interviewing these guys with AJ and John and Eric and Josh and whoever else was there. And he goes, at some point, he goes, I've heard all the answers. Like, why don't I just do this?
Yeah. I mean, look, again, the pros of Craig Stammen and the cons of Craig Stammen. I think it's hard to do. His cons aren't really any more than any other person that was up for the gig, right? Like, no managerial experience, right? He's got the big league chip that he can say, I know I've pitched in the big leagues for a long time. I know these guys. I've been around the organization. I think those are pros. Now, I did see the counterpoint of that. Great. So that means the philosophies inside the building won't change. I think that's valid. Well,
AJ said he'll put his own tweak on it, but they were looking for someone who could carry on the good that they felt like Mike Shildt did the last couple of years.
We knew there was a possibility, though, just by looking at the candidates.
According to all the reports, it came down in the end to Ruben Niebla or Craig Stammen.
Yeah.
Those were the two final finalists. Albert Pujols was in the mix. Other guys were in the mix. But the final two decision, A or B, was Ruben Niebla or Craig Stammen. I would have been more than happy with Ruben Niebla.
As what I have. As we said, that was kind of our number one pick from the start.
Am I disappointed he didn't get the job? Well, now that I know he's going to remain in the organization, selfishly, I go, you get the best of both worlds. Now, you don't lose any of that Ruben Niebla experience. You still have the best pitching coach in baseball, and you have a manager that I believe the clubhouse is going to rally behind because I know they respect him and like him. And look, he's a good person, and he knows baseball.
And I'm not going to sit in here and say I wasn't shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked. And my initial reaction was, what? This is after the big splashy names that we heard, this is what we went with. Oh man. And that was my initial reaction.
There was only one big splashy name.
It was Albert Pujols. Yeah. It was Albert Pujols.
Nobody else that was actually ever interviewed that we know of was big and splashy.
I think the funniest part about all of it is, this one. Man, he's an AJ puppet, right? So my answer to that is, yeah, probably. You know who's not? Who doesn't serve at the pleasure of their president of baseball operations in Major League Baseball today? Can you name the best managers that don't serve at the pleasure of their, as Ben likes to say, their pobo? What manager?
The shrimp pobo.
The shrimp pobo. I can't even say it. Who doesn't serve at the pleasure of their general manager / POBO?
I don't think Craig Stammen's going to have any more or less power than Mike Shildt did.
Correct. I don't think so either. And I think Dave Roberts serves at the pleasure of Andrew Friedman. I think every one of these managers I think that's just the way the gig is now. You don't call the shots anymore. You're not Jim Leland. You're not Earl Weaver. Those days are gone. And I really think that every single manager is a yes man for the president of baseball operations and ownership. I think everyone. I think 30 for 30 in baseball. I really, really do.
Who hires someone that is going to just overrule them every single time?
Adam Klug. Adam Klug. That's the only one. He's the only guy I know that has hired someone that overrules him every time. He's the only one I know.
Who could that be?
He's the only guy I know. But who doesn't that? Who doesn't that? And yeah, look, Dan, you're right, dude. Old guys being faded out because they aren't yes men. Correct. You are so look at the guys that just got hired, man. Look at the proof is right there for you.
It's an MLB thing, not a Padres thing.
Does anybody think Tony Vitello is a yes man to Buster Posey? Yes,
man.
Yes, man. He's going to be in Buster's office. Is this right? Am I doing this right? Every day. Dave Roberts still with all those, the 2.5 World Series that he's won, Ben, he's still going to be whatever you say, Andrew. That's just how the game goes, man. It really, really is. And you can debate that all day if that's the right way or the wrong way to do it. But that's
John Schneider, Rob Thompson,
100%. Aaron Boone, all of them. They all serve at the pleasure.
They're all yes men.
Of their po-boys.
Pobos.
They're pobos. They all serve at the pleasure. So we can keep talking about it, but excited about this next segment.
There is one thing that is going to massively annoy me about the hiring of Craig Stammen. I'll tell you what it is. And then coming up at 6:45 in 20 minutes, we will be joined by the man himself, the Padres insider to end all Padres insiders.
For real. Biggest news he's
the
broken
man
in forever.
Who broke the story yesterday about Craig Stammen as manager. Yes, Kentucky sports radio host Matt Jones is going to join us coming up at 6:45 with maybe the story of how he got the story, the big story that none of us got before some guy in Kentucky got it about 5 minutes before the Padres announced it. That is coming up next. We'll set the menu for the program. It's good to have Woodsy back. It is a Friday. Tier 1's glad to have you with us on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Let's get some traffic with Sue Aller in for Kelly Danick today.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view.
There's one thing that will continue to annoy me about the hiring of Craig Stammen, just probably for his entire tenure as the Padres manager. Get to that in a second. First, welcome back. It's Ben and Woods on a Friday morning. Got a lot coming up on the program today. As I mentioned, in about 10 minutes or so, Matt Jones, who broke this news and stunned us all yesterday with his tweet admitting, I don't know who Craig Stammen is. I don't follow the San Diego Padres, but I just got word that he's the new manager.
Sounds like some of the Padres fans I ran across.
Random
yesterday.
person just texted me. Craig Stammen is the new Padres manager. So I'm going to break that, even though I don't know who that is. You were absolutely right, Matt Jones.
He nailed it. It's so random. All the way out in Kentucky that happened.
That came out at like 8:30 here, and the news, it was about a 30-minute gap in between that post that got sent around and the actual news of Stammen getting the job. And we're going, okay, this guy's got like 300,000 followers.
Right.
I've never heard of him, but that doesn't mean anything.
Mean much.
Craig Stammen, I mean, it's random, but it's not random enough to like obviously be a troll. And if you start thinking about it, if that was Jeff Passan instead of Matt Jones, you're like, I guess I could see that. Maybe he's in the system. And then it actually happened.
Well, I'm going to press him. I want to know who the hitting coach is going to be. I want to know which free agents they're going to be targeting this offseason. We don't need Dennis Lynn or AJ Cassavell now. We have Matt Jones as our new insider. He's going to join us coming up in less than 10 minutes. Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour, Darren Smith will be with us, his regular Friday feature. We got the decisive playoff game for SDFC coming up on Sunday. Winner take all. This is it. Season's on the line against Portland at Snapdragon Stadium on Sunday night. Darren will join us, and of course, he'll share his thoughts on the Craig Stammen hiring as well. In our 8 o'clock hour, get more managerial talk with our Padres Smörgåsbord. Maybe even open up the phones. It says, do we dare open up the phone lines on my rundown? Paulie, I don't think has decided whether or not that's going to happen. But we have our regular features as well. Don't do this. Take on Woods. We have our biggest fan announcement coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Remember, if you hear your name called, you have a chance to qualify for our grand prize drawing, night in the Odyssey Suite at a Padres game next season. 20 tickets for you and your friends. And because, well, on me, we were going to give away some Aztecs basketball tickets yesterday in our 9 o'clock hour, and I got a bit distracted by breaking news. We never gave them away, so we're going to do that coming up in the first half of the program today. Chance to win tickets for Sunday afternoon's game against Idaho State. Looks like Reese Dixon Waters will be back. Maybe even Magoon Guath, who's been cleared for contact, could see a couple of minutes, according to Brian Dutcher, after they're coming off their season-opening win over Long Beach State. So we'll have some tickets to give away there. But the one thing that will not ever stop annoying me, and I heard it 7 times at least yesterday when the national media was discussing the hiring that the Padres made, when they keep calling him Craig Stammen.
Craig Stammen.
Stammen.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
There's no way you can look at that name
and say
and turn it into Stammen. It's double M. It's Stammen. Craig Stammen. But everyone, I mean, like at least 40% of people that I heard yesterday call him Craig Stammen.
All right, how about when he's good, it's Craig Stammen, and when he's bad, it's Craig Stammen.
Makes a bad decision.
Yeah, Craig Stammen showed up last night.
Why'd you bunt there, Stammen?
My first question to him. I have 2 questions for him. One, will you wear your socks high?
Yeah.
Like you did when you played. He wore the high socks. As a manager, it looks weird. Don't you think?
A little bit.
Yeah. So will you have to now wear long pants? Very important, hard-hitting stuff. I get it. Number 2, you have 11 or 13 sacrifice bunts in your career. Can you promise me fewer than 11 or 13 sacrifice bunts next year? If you can.
I looked that up as well.
I'll get your jersey. I'll buy a manager's jersey. I don't want that. I want him to let these dudes eat this year. That's what I want. I want him to, and here's the other thing. The one thing that I think could save our fan base from losing, like the reaction yesterday was feverishly nuts for the most part. The one thing that could bring you back, in my opinion, is somebody with a different philosophy, cutting edge technology, a hitting coach, somebody that can come in and go, oh crap. Now, if you want to take a chance on somebody, of course you're going to look to copycat what's just happened in the World Series. You're going to look to a guy like David Popkins, who's already there in Toronto, but somebody of that ilk, if you could get somebody like that, that's a different story. I think you let him handle the hitters. You let Craig handle the clubhouse and the day-to-day and the media and all of that, the lineup, whatever, the pitchers, along with Ruben and Fritzy. Now you're cooking. Because your hitting coach is gone. Your manager that was really, really loved the sacrifice bunt and rewarding his players for sacrificing in weird situations, he's gone. change the philosophy a little bit. And I asked AJ Preller. I don't think AJ Preller's philosophy is, no, we want to sacrifice more and play a lot of small ball. AJ's philosophy is, I need you guys to go win baseball games. That's pretty much the general manager's philosophy all the time. How you guys choose to do it, I don't care. Win us games. And so the manager's going to have some input on that, but the hitting coach is really going to be able to work with changing some philosophies of Manny, Tatis, Merrill, Xander, guys like that. It's possible. It just happened in 1 year's time. It just happened in Toronto. Find that guy, and you can get this fan base, I think not 100%, but 85% on board if you make the right hire, hitting coach-wise, offensive philosophy-wise.
As they fill out the coaching staff, not necessarily the hitting coach, and we were told that most of the coaches will be back next season, but there will be some new additions. I'm sure Craig Stammen will have some input. I wouldn't mind seeing someone with managerial experience, whether it's on the big league level or even, many years managing in the minor leagues, just someone who can be there, next to Craig Stammen when the game does get a little faster in the late innings and you've got to make quick switches, just, that advanced thinking mind. And I'm not saying Craig Stammen doesn't already have that as a player. He's lived it for many, many years, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. I do want to congratulate, by the way, one of our favorite coaches, Ben Fritz, who reportedly received a lucrative contract extension from the San Diego Padres.
Good for him.
And will remain on the coaching staff. One of the big concerns about not hiring Ruben Niebla would be losing Ruben or losing Ben Fritz or losing both of them if you hired someone else. And it looks like the Padres are going to get the best of both worlds, a new manager, and get to keep both of those coaches who are so highly thought of both inside and outside the Padres organization.
If you want me to doom, if we had lost either of those guys, I would have been in pretty much doomer mode. I'm going to reiterate the point that the hiring of Craig Stammen did not blow my hair back. It did not. It shocked the hell out of me. I went, what? What? Are you effing kidding me? Was my response. But more of like surprise. But like, I'm totally willing to give him a chance. Totally. 100%. Because here's the soup. This is the soup. Do you want to eat the soup? I'm going to eat the soup. But here's the thing about me. Whether I work here, across the street, somewhere else, or don't work in media at all, you know what I'm always going to do? I'm always going to eat the soup. I eat the soup every year. You put the bowl down in front of me. I get my spoon. I get my saltines, maybe some Ritz from time to time. And I eat the soup because I love baseball. I love baseball. I love the Padres. So I want them to do well.
Again, what is it that people dislike about Craig Stammen? I don't totally understand it. Is it his lack of experience? Because
maybe.
Then you would have been mad if they hired Albert Pujols just equally. Would there be I don't know. Would there be an uproar today? An outrage if they had hired Albert Pujols? How could you hire someone who hasn't done this before?
It's super duper splashy. And Craig Stammen is the antithesis of splashy.
Other than the splashiness, I like Craig Stammen a lot more about Craig Stammen than I do necessarily what Albert Pujols was going to bring to the table.
That's a long one. It's a long one. It's a long one.
Let's check traffic when we come back. How did this story get broken half a continent away by someone who doesn't even cover baseball and has no idea who Craig Stammen is? Matt Jones, Kentucky sports radio guy, is going to join us to wrap up our hour coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is brought to you by Robert Half. You got a stall on the southbound side of the 15 at Vio Rancho Parkway. It's in the middle lane, and on the northbound side at Carmel Mountain Road, there's some debris. It's wood, fell off of a truck, and it's blocking the right lane. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why our recruiters, expertise, and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. I'm Sue Aller, Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us live right now on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline is legendary Padres insider Matt Jones. Kentucky Sports Radio, I believe. Honestly, Matt, I'm sorry, I don't know your entire bio, but welcome to the Ben and Woods Show here in San Diego. We're delighted to have you.
Well, first of all, I listen to you all on podcasts. yesterday trying to figure out my bio in real time, which I actually enjoyed. Nothing like hearing two strangers sort of try to digest who you are on radio. I really enjoyed it. And you guys were, I was trying to think if I was in a similar situation with you all and some random dude in San Diego broke Kentucky Scoop, we would have done what you did.
Yeah.
We probably would have been meaner than you all were. So I actually give you credit for relative kindness.
Matt, I wasn't here yesterday.
He wasn't there.
I wasn't here, so I'm the co-host with Ben, and Paulie's our executive producer, and had to fill in for me. I was at Disneyland for my kid's 5th birthday, and I'm in line at Space Mountain. No BS. And I saw your tweet.
What kind of host, by the way, goes to Disneyland when the manager is when they're hiring a new manager?
Come
on now.
This
I know
a month-long process.
But
bro,
all right.
I got a wife I have to answer to, Matt. She's much more attractive than me. So I have to do as I'm told sometimes. And frankly, I needed it, and I was ready to go celebrate with my son, but I'm in line. I see the tweet and I go, who's this? Who's Matt Jones? And
you can be honest. You said, who is this joker that is putting stuff out? He's wearing a cowboy hat in his picture.
I love you.
I would have done
You're
the
handsome.
same
You're a
thing.
handsome dude. I saw the picture. I mean, this guy's a sharp guy. You got way more Twitter followers than we do. I said, holy smokes. But so you're sitting where? At work? You get a text. You're like, what? Who? Craig, you didn't even know who he was.
I actually had a couple of meetings yesterday morning, and my show was on when this was happening, but I had yesterday off of my regular show. I'm about to walk in to do it now. And I get this. So I have something called a text machine. It's just like a text messaging app where people can write into the show. And it's kind of become a thing over the years that if you're a Kentucky fan, if you're part of the Big Blue Nation and you live in other parts of the country, we kind of like sort of our show is huge, but nobody really outside of Kentucky knows. And so we like to kind of showcase sometimes how big Big Blue Nation is. So I get a text message. It's from a San Diego number. It's somebody who in the past has sent various things that ended up being true. And they just said, I don't know that you would care about this, but Craig Stammen is going to be the Padres manager. It'll be announced around noon Eastern, which I guess is 9:00 your time. And it was about an hour before when they sent it. And so I texted somebody I know on the West Coast, like, is this plausible? And they said plausible. And I thought, why not? Because this person had been reliable in the past.
Yeah, nothing to lose for you. I mean, nobody cares. Like, none of Big Blue Nation's gonna be like, how dare you? How dare you?
Well, it's also, I did a little search to see, is this a person that's been mentioned? And when I saw it, like, he had never really been mentioned for the job, there was a part of me that goes, is this plausible? But I thought, who's going to randomly send some guy named Craig Stammen? It's not like he said it was going to be, I don't know, pick your favorite, Albert Pujols. It's like a name I hadn't even seen. So I thought, well, why would you pick someone so random? So I think it's true because of how random it is.
Well, that's kind of what our fan base is asking. Well, how could you pick somebody so random? That's exactly what our fan base is saying as well.
We kind of believed it because it was so random, honestly.
That's how I was.
Normally, I just ignore it, but I saw it and I go, there's no way that someone just came up with that name out of the blue. There was a kernel of, like, truth to it, so we had to talk about it.
That's how I felt. And then there was like an hour where, like, no one was backing me up. No one backing me up. No one was even acting like it existed. And then one of your all's, like, fan accounts found it. And then all of a sudden I'm just getting all these San Diego fans saying, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? You're an idiot. And so I'm sitting there. I'm actually having pizza for lunch as this is happening in real time. And Jeff Passan works with me on ESPN. And I had tried to text him to say, hey, man, I'll do you a solid and throw you this. And then I had to realize I had his old number. So I was just like, well, it's just going to sit out there with me until somebody does something. And then that shows media, though. The guy with, I guess, the San Diego newspaper, he ends up putting it out. And nationally, he gets all the credit.
He got all the credit.
It just goes to show, which is, but you know what? That's the way media works. Everybody's friends, and so they take care of each other.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Matt Jones is with us. He's Kentucky sportscaster, broke the news yesterday. We will give you credit. You broke the news yesterday about Craig Stammen as the new Padres manager. there's a little jealousy on my part. I mean, we have a direct line to the front office, coaching staff, players, insiders. We talk about the Padres 20 hours a week, basically, on our show. And it's a little humiliating for the story to get broken by some guy in Kentucky who doesn't even know who Craig Stammen is.
Yeah, that was a rough one, man.
I get it. If let's say the two of you had broken the news who the new Kentucky basketball coach was, I would be just as upset, which is why I wanted to listen, because I thought, okay, I want to hate on these guys. But then I didn't. Like, you guys were good-natured about it. Your skepticism was completely understandable. And let me be honest, I wasn't 100% certain either, right? I don't even know who Craig Stammen is. He could walk down the street with a shirt that says Craig Stammen on, and I'd be like, yeah, I don't think that's you. So I have absolutely no clue who this person is. But at the same time, I looked at the history of the guy who'd written me. It'd been right, generally speaking, on some West Coast things that had come up over the years. And so I was like, why would this person make this up? This is clearly a fan. I'm going to go with it. And it ended up being correct.
I've got bad news for you, Matt Jones. We have just found out who the next Kentucky basketball coach is. It's Albert Pujols, by the way. He is going to be.
Never heard of this guy, but we're just going to
I've never heard of him. He's bringing Yadier Molina with him, and they are going to be running Kentucky basketball.
You're welcome for Lamont Butler, by the way.
Yeah, you are welcome for Lamont Butler.
Hey, we liked Lamont Butler. If he hadn't gotten hurt, I think that team could have been a Final Four team last year.
But, well, no doubt. Matt, before you go, who's going to be the new Padres hitting coach? What is the offseason free agent strategy?
Who are we getting in what starters?
We need to know now. You're the guy. So
here's my Padres history. This is it. As a kid, I had a Gary Templeton card that I thought was my coolest baseball card as a kid. And I absolutely love your all's alternative uniforms or whatever with the big bright colors.
City Connect.
I have one of them. That's my Padres history. Although I do expect if I come to San Diego, I'd at least like to go to a game with you guys.
Well, bro, you won't pay for a beer here. We'll buy your beers.
We'll say hi to Tempe for you at Fantasy Camp in a couple of months when we see him. He's great. We'll say hi for you, Matt.
Sounds great. Thank you all.
Thanks, man. That was awesome.
I appreciate everybody having a good sense of humor about it.
Appreciate you, dude.
Good
that was
dude.
rad.
Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio, with us on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
I loved every second of that.
He was awesome.
He just has his text line on the show. This was like a listener.
Yeah.
Not even like
not like text to his phone. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Huh.
It's a cool story. I'm glad we were able to get him on. Sounds like a great guy. I would like to listen to him. I mean, we always feel like, man, living in San Diego, we don't have a ton to talk about. Kentucky. I mean, there's basketball there is religion. So Kentucky basketball, is his whole show just talking Kentucky basketball?
Probably football too, and other Kentucky sports.
Other Kentucky sports. Yeah. He sounds like a really talented guy. Really talented guy. Very good broadcaster.
And the irony is there are great insiders like Jeff Passan who are working texts all the time. A lot of news ends up getting broken kind of randomly. Like you just happen to be in the right place at the right time when someone told you something. And that is how it happens occasionally. So that was a fun interview. All right, we'll come back. Hour number 2. We have more Padres news on the way. Including some good news from Manny Machado yesterday. Plus, Don't Do This. And Darren Smith going to be joining us. Stay tuned. Ben Woods back with more on a Friday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Thanks again to Matt Jones. That was a fun interview.
I'd like to talk to him again at some point.
Jeremy in our chat says, I think I'm the one person. I listen to both Ben and Woods and Kentucky Sports Radio every day. Worlds collide right there.
Yeah, I know Jeremy. I played golf with him. He's fantastic, dude. That's so good. He said his best shows are when they talk non-sports, random life topics, a little Seinfeld, Larry David-ish. Sounds very, very familiar. Very familiar.
There's actually quite a bit of Padres news yesterday beyond just the hiring of the manager. Probably the biggest story of the offseason, well, any team's offseason is going to be the hiring of a manager when you need a new one, but had some positive news. Manny Machado won his third career Silver Slugger Award yesterday.
Yep.
And I don't think anyone's going to tell you that Manny had his best season of his career, but
pretty Manny-esque though.
It was normal Manny Machado type offensive production, and he got a little lucky because Eugenio Suarez got moved out of the National League to the American League.
50-something bombs.
You have to give the award to someone who's actually in the National League, which left him as really the best hitting third baseman in the National League, which is a good place to start. When you're putting together a lineup for next season, you're better off than every other National League team at third base offensively.
Yep.
So, congratulations to Manny Machado. You also had the deadline to extend qualifying offers to potential free agents. And the Padres, one of only two teams that extended 2 qualifying offers yesterday, as both Dylan Cease and Michael King, pretty much as expected, received the qualifying offer. If you want to know what that means, that doesn't stop them becoming free agents, but they can accept a 1-year, 22-point change deal if they would like to remain with the San Diego Padres. If they decide to decline that deal, and they have 10 days to make the decision, the Padres would receive draft pick compensation if they sign with another club in the offseason as free agency. So the Padres essentially buying a couple of draft picks if they lose both of those pitchers in the offseason to free agency by extending the qualifying offer.
Yeah, and if they take it, then they're here. So you have them to pitch for you. And I don't think either of them are going to take it.
No chance Dylan Cease does.
No.
He's going to get a multi-year deal. Michael King, I don't think will, but
I don't think so either.
It's not out of the question after the season that he had and dealing with injuries.
Can you, if you're Michael King and you say, I really want to stay here, and your agency lets AJ Preller know Michael wants to be here, let's talk. He'll accept the QO at 22.5.
You can still keep negotiating on
and
a
you
longer
keep
term
negotiating
deal.
on a longer term
I just feel
deal.
like Michael King could get, and we talked about when you were here yesterday, projections that the Athletic did for potential contracts. And with Michael King, they said 3 years, $75 million, but with opt-outs every year. So consider that 3 1-year, $25 million deals. It's kind of around the qualifying offer.
Right.
But, if Michael King could get even another $1 million, like 1 year, 23 and an opt-out, that's better than the qualifying offer.
Correct.
So it's probably smart for him to decline it. And if he wants to stay with the Padres, he can say, yeah, give me a deal, but let's have an opt-out after the first season to see how it goes, because I might want to hit free agency again in 1 year. Because if he comes back healthy and has the type of season that we know Michael King is capable of having, a Cy Young candidate season, he could make huge money next year. So he might not want to sign something that locks him in for too long, but he also would probably want a little bit of security, knowing you don't get to be a free agent every day in Major League Baseball, and you want to take advantage of that opportunity.
I thought the most interesting qualifying offer yesterday was extended by the New York Yankees to Trent Grisham for $22.5 million. I didn't think that I suspected it may happen, and I'm not surprised that they offered it to him after the year that he had. But if you had told me 5 years ago, Trent Grisham will have the opportunity to make $22.5 million in one season, I would have said, wow, all right, I must have unlocked something. You have to take that if you're him. Yes.
I don't think you have to. I don't know that you're getting an average annual value of $22 million in free agency, but
you could get some stability.
If someone offered you 3
or 4
years
year
at
deal,
$54 million, which is less than $22 million a year, but you're guaranteed 54, you take the 22, you have a bad season,
you're done.
You may be offered, $4 million next year, and you go, oh, I should have just cashed in with the longer term deal when I had a chance. So you may reject it if you're Trent Grisham and go for
if you had Trent
longer
Grisham's
term
career,
security.
Would you bet on yourself again? I don't know that I would.
Bro, I'm taking the 22, and I'm going to be the happiest kid alive.
Trent doesn't seem to lack for confidence.
That's true.
He may think, yeah, I'm going to do it again. I'll do the 22, and then I'll have another great season, and I'll hit free agency. I don't believe they can extend it to you twice in a row. So then he'd be a free and clear free agent next year if he did that.
People do understand how this business works, though. I like to think. But Tryhouse in the chat says, King saw enough of this soap opera. He fled like Schilt. He didn't flee. He made a business decision that he's earned, right? You earn the right to get to free agency. And that's what baseball.
He hasn't been offered any.
He hasn't been offered a contract. That's
he doesn't
it.
even have the choice to stay.
Right. He does not have the choice to stay.
It's up to the Padres to offer him a deal.
Mike Schilt, yes, absolutely, left. So I think that's just how. Bieber was a real surprise that he picked up his option. He left some years and some money on the table, but who's to say what matters to one player? It might be something else entirely. There's something to be said for being happy where you are. No question. I'm not taking a deal to go work in Kentucky with Matt Jones, even if it's for $1 million a year. I have no desire. This is where I want to be. So that's the Shane Bieber mode. But like he guy loves Toronto. He's happy to be there. So I don't know, man.
He also has some proving to do. Yeah,
sure.
He pitched pretty well in the postseason, but he was only back for like a month or so at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He may feel like, hey, I do a full season, show that I'm back healthy. I can get a much bigger deal in 1 year than I do this year. So.
It's funny, man, when I'm seeing these projections of Dylan Cease come out, and I told everybody all year long, everyone thinks this guy's going to be signing for $6 million a year next year. It's not happening.
6 years, 174 was the Tim Britton athletic projection we talked about yesterday.
That's $30 million a year. It's exactly what I said. Everyone said he's going. Nobody's going to give that guy that kind of money. Somebody will. The Chicago Cubs might. The Boston Red Sox might. The New York Yankees might.
It's tough with free agency because we all think, I wouldn't do that. And you might be right. 28 teams, 29 teams might not do that.
Yeah.
But all he needs is for one team.
One team.
To offer him
It's
that.
usually us. We're usually the one.
And he gets So you're not wrong when you think, that seems way too much. I don't think my team would even come close to offering him that. You're probably right.
But that's not what they were saying. Nobody was saying that the Padres won't offer. They're saying he's going to be pitching for $5 to $6 million a year for the rest of his career.
Which is nuts.
Which is insane.
Because he doesn't need 7 teams bidding on him.
No.
He needs one team to need pitching badly enough and believe in him that he is going to get an offer like that.
I mean,
that's how free agency works.
And even Michael King, I mean, you saw that projection. That's a guy coming off of, a really bad year with a lot of injuries.
Let me put it another way.
He's still going to get paid.
Let me put it another way. Is there any team that wouldn't want Dylan Cease pitching for them? If he could pitch for free,
right?
Every single team would want him. So there is demand for Dylan Cease this offseason. Now it's just a matter of how high it gets. Not every player has that level of demand. There are players who hit free agency and a guy goes, wouldn't touch that guy with a 10-foot pole. I don't care. I don't care if he wanted to play for free. I have no interest in him on my team. Every single one of the 30 Major League Baseball teams would happily have Dylan Cease in their pitching rotation.
Every one of them.
So that means he will have plenty of offers, which will continue to bump up the offers until it probably gets somewhere around that level of 6 years. $174 million.
He's not pitching for $12-15 million next year. He's just not. He's not. He never was. Even as bad as it was, as inconsistent as it was, you look at the end of the year, oh, cool, 180 innings and 200 strikeouts. Those guys don't grow on trees, stays healthy. Like, there's a team that's going to go, yeah, man, he is a one afternoon in the lab tweak away. Why we couldn't get it figured out until it was too late. I'm sure that Dylan Cease kept Ruben Niebla up at night. I'm sure he did, because Ruben has been able to unlock some things in a lot of guys. And with Dylan, I think it's between the years, really. Like, honestly, like he has the stuff to be one of the most elite starters. And, I'm sure he kept Ruben up at night going, why can't he figure this out?
I'm curious what you thought. We talked about the other projections for Padres free agents. Ryan O'Hearn, 2 years, $36 million.
18 mil for probably a platoon type player. I don't know. I love Ryan O'Hearn. I love him.
Paulie and I were both tentative yeses if they could bring him back or somewhere around that money.
If you said 2 years at 18, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Twice as much as
as much as that. I I love him. I love his ABs. I love his mentality.
I said yesterday, can you get better for less? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. That's a lot of dough, man.
2 years, $30 million for Luis Arraez.
No,
absolutely.
What excites me is the number 2. What I don't need is 10 years, 180 for Reindl. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've got to be judicious about any more long-term contracts because we've been locked in to a few that are gonna hurt. They're going to hurt.
When you hear those kind of numbers for players like Ryan O'Hearn and Luis Arraez, you also understand that the Padres yesterday already locked in what may be the biggest bargain of the entire offseason.
No question.
When they picked up the $6 million contract option on Ramon Laureano.
Thank God
who was
for that.
The team leader in OPS last year and figures to be a much more integral part of the offense, hitting a lot higher than 7th in new manager Craig Stammen, if you're listening's lineup, will not have Ramon Laureano batting 7th next year.
Yeah.
I hope. I think. I believe.
I mean, you want to endear yourself to the fan base, bat your guy with the highest OPS above 7th. And bat your guy with like your lowest OPS.
That's asking too much.
Don't bat him 2nd. Be willing to change. Be willing to move things
But
around.
You think about that, and that's why AJ Preller was willing to give so much in that trade to the Baltimore Orioles, because
you had that extra year.
You had the option for what is looking like the biggest bargain of the offseason in Major League Baseball in another year of Ramon Laureano next year, which is fantastic. Really, really terrific place for the Padres to start offensively.
No question.
That was an easy decision for the Padres management to make yesterday.
It will be interesting to see what ponds AJ Preller casts his line into as far as free agents, trades, things like that. I mean, again, you got to have guys to trade. The farm system is depleted. He is actively working on filling that thing up again. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect about Craig Stammen. I don't know what to expect from the San Diego Padres, but I like our chances. I like our chances of having a better looking roster on opening day of 26 than it looked on opening day of 25. That I will die on that hill. It's going to look better.
Yes.
I mean, it already does.
Lineup for sure.
Pitching. Well, there was a lot of hope last year, right? With the pitching that you had that was healthy.
Did Kyle Hart in your rotation to start the year?
You really did.
Too, so.
Yeah, you really did. And but there's hope. There's more hope with the lineup certainly than last year. Was brutal. I was brutal. That was a brutal first few months of the season. I mean, really, really tough. And you tried everybody. You tried everybody out in left field that you could potentially put out there, and it just didn't click. So got to stay healthy. It's paramount that the biggest stars on the team stay healthy, stay on the field, and they need to produce. They need to all produce more than they did this year.
Finally, today is the day that the Rawlings people will announce the Platinum Glove winners in the National and American League. So Fernando Tatis Jr., who won in 2023, one of the nominees by virtue of his Gold Glove from last week. I'm not sure what time that happens today, but look for that announcement at some point later today. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, Don't Do This, and a Don't Do This Hall of Famer, maybe wrapping up his Don't Do This career for a while. We'll get you updated on that story coming up.
Your opening day lineup had, Yuli Gurriel as your DH.
Yep.
You had Brandon Lockridge in the left.
Yep.
And then Jason Hayward had a pinch hit appearance for Elias Diaz, who got the start behind the dish.
Yeah, man, it already looks better. It's already better than it was last year. Already.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with Don't Do This coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, quickly, gang, I wanted to tell you about QC Kinetics. So a lot of people at Disneyland yesterday walking around that I thought, man, you look like you are in a serious amount of pain, kind of limping around. And QC Kinetics can help those people, man. If it's trouble, it's in your joints, your knees, things like that. Your knees, your back, your hips, your shoulders. For me, it was my wrists. Give them a call today. At QC Kinetics, they tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissue, reduce inflammation, and relieve pain at its source. Imagine being able to walk around pain-free. Imagine swinging the golf clubs again, hiking that trail, all of those things, getting back in the water or on your bike. That's the freedom that QC Kinetics helps people rediscover every single day. Don't just mask the pain. Let QC Kinetics regain what pain took away. I am just so grateful for what they've done for me. This Veterans Day, QC Kinetics giving back to our heroes. Veterans getting $500 off their treatment. And for every non-veteran who starts care, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. Great time to book your free consultation with Dr. Jackson and his staff. Call QC Kinetics today, 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. Once again, 619-614-PAIN.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Going to give away some Aztecs basketball tickets in just a few minutes, plus Darren Smith at the bottom of the hour. But first, it is time for Don't Do This. It is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. And we start with a DDT Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. For Don't Do This, Antonio Brown. He has made the headlines many times. And I saw this yesterday, and I went, "How was I asleep? How long have I been asleep?" I felt like Rip Van Winkle. I had completely forgotten about the incident that happened back in Miami at a boxing match. Attempted murder is what he was charged with. And he was in Dubai, Ben, and he was then extradited to Miami. Not sure when he's going to be handed over to authorities in Miami yet, but they have U.S. Marshals apprehended Antonio Brown. He has been extradited to the United States to face attempted murder charges.
So he's been on the lam?
I don't know if he was
4 months.
Was he on the lam, or was it like I don't know that he was. I guess if they come after you, that means you missed court dates. That means you're on the run. And he was over in Dubai. Somebody spotted him. U.S. Marshals tracked him down. They found him.
Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball.
Can you bring down the audio in the back of the bell? I just want to hear what the guy says. Oh, no. Here he is. He's in Dubai. So, dude, pretty nuts. He was overseas when the warrant was issued. Brown's attorney was able to get a $10,000 bond, which also included house arrest. He remained overseas, did not return to South Florida despite the arrangement. So he was active on social media, posted an Instagram story of where he was, and that's how they got him. So it is pretty heavy. Not sure what's going to happen to Antonio Brown, but he's facing attempted murder charges. So I'd say that's pretty big. Don't do
feel
this.
Like I want to see the reality show of Antonio Brown on the lam, like running from the cops.
Do we retire him from Don't Do This now?
I think it depends on what happens in court.
I don't know. About 50 incidents already that we thought, all right, this is it for Antonio Brown. This is it. We won't hear from him again.
Super Teflon.
And yet we keep hearing from him.
He's not in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame's named after him.
Yeah.
For Don't Do This.
No question, man. He's been on there a ton.
Didn't actually get time for this story yesterday with all our breaking news. And I don't know if it's a Don't Do This or just a sad story, but Miami Heat coach Erik Spoelstra returned from a road trip with his team late Wednesday night, only to find his house completely engulfed in flames. Fairly new house. He had moved in 2023 in Coral Gables, Florida. Massive second alarm fire with multiple fire units responding. I can't even imagine how horrifying that scene
see the pictures
would
man?
be. Yeah, the house was just gutted. Absolutely gutted. All that's left are, some of the surrounding walls, but everything inside just completely gone for Erik Spoelstra. The good news here, no injuries were reported. Obviously, he wasn't there at the time. He was traveling back with the Miami Heat from a road trip, but I'm sure there will be an investigation as to the cause of the fire, which is ongoing right now, but just really sad, tough story for Erik Spoelstra.
Yeah, really, really harrowing pictures of him standing in front of the fire. His Halloween decorations still up. I mean, it was really creepy. It was surreal to see. Let's get to some Do This.
DD Mega Doo.
Thought this was really beautiful from Nebraska head football coach Matt Rule yesterday. Was talking about, I know you guys talked about on the show, the death by suicide of Marshawn Nealon, the Dallas Cowboys. It just was a gut-wrenching story. 24 years old. And took his own life, had a history of mental health issues, and just was too much for him. It was too much for him. And Matt Rule started his press conference yesterday to talk about mental health.
Poignant seeing the tragic news out of Dallas today, and understanding that none of us know what people are going through. That's why I think we all should be careful about what we say to people. I think we should be careful what we tweet about people. I think we should be cognizant of what everyone's going through. And I told our players they should take their headphones off in the cafeteria and sit down with someone and be like, how you doing, man? What's going on with you? Because somebody that we're talking to, that we're saying, what's wrong with that guy? And that guy's messed up. instead of saying what's wrong with him, we should all say, I wonder what would happen to him, because everyone's suffering. And so I look at these opportunities, everyone's kind of, everyone's, going through something. We're going to go on the road together, man. It's just a chance for us all to come together and be a team and unite together and spend time together. And, I think it's a good opportunity for us, but I have to, send my condolences, obviously. It's just awful news. But you also know at the same time, I've given the eulogy for players of mine who've had the same thing happen. And so it's just, you never know what people are going through. And I will forever, the rest of my life, think about the time that I saw Adrian Robinson right before he took his own life. And I saw him on campus, and I was walking this way and he was way over there. And I was like, I need to catch up with Adrian, because he had got done playing. And a week later, he left this world. And a month later, I was given the eulogy. And I just wish in my life I could go back and just stop and say, hey, how you doing? And so it's not really what you asked, but it's on my heart. And I just share it with the team. I just think it's a time in this world for us to be kind to people, and at the same time care about people and ask about people. Our generation of kids, my kids, they all just say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm straight, and it's just like, you really got to unearth it. So I look at road trips and travel, and I look at time together practice as chances to impact young people's lives and try to be around them. And I would encourage everybody today, with your own kids or the people you work with, just check on them, because that young man scored a touchdown just a couple days ago, and on the outside world, you'd think he's at the pinnacle, but he's dealing with something, and I don't know what it was, but I pray for him and his family. So
super sad story, but really, really powerful message from Nebraska's head football coach, Matt Rule.
I love that it came from an unexpected person in an unexpected place.
Yeah, for sure.
The head coach at Nebraska, a guy named Matt Rule, big burly guy with a beard, standing at a podium in front of Nebraska logos, had that message.
Yeah, no question.
I don't know. For some reason, for me, it gives me a little hope.
Sure.
That there are caring people out in the world. Even the football coaches in the world, there are some caring people, and I like to see that. And that's Don't and Do This for a Friday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
We say it all the time. That's somebody you would want your kid to go play for.
100%. Not just worried about results on the field.
Yeah.
Worried about the person.
College basketball fans, you're interested in heading to Viejas Arena this Sunday, we've got a pair of tickets. If you want to check out San Diego State, game 2 of the season, they'll be hosting Idaho State. It's a 2 o'clock tip-off on Sunday afternoon. Didn't give out the tickets yesterday. Let's do it right now at 833-288-0973. We'll take the 6th caller, 833-288-0973. Send you to the game. Check out the squad. Again, Reese Dixon-Waters should be back, probably wearing goggles after the scratched cornea. And maybe even Magoon Guath a few minutes, according to Brian Dutcher, after he's been cleared for practice coming off their win over Long Beach State. You can get your tickets at goaztecs.com or win them right now from Ben and Woods at 833-288-0973. We'll be back. Darren Smith will join us. His thoughts on the Padres managerial hire and SDFC's make or break winner-take-all playoff game on Sunday night at Snapdragon Stadium. D. Smith coming up next year with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Also getting ready for plenty of football on Sunday. I just opened my Prize Picks app. I love Rico Dowdle at more than 90.5 rushing yards. Guy has been leading Carolina to some good things lately. Put that in a lineup. You could also do Drake May, 244.5 passing yards. As little as 2 players together picking against stat projections. You can win real money with Prize Picks while you're watching sports. We're doing it anyway. Might as well turn that knowledge into actual cash with Prize Picks. You pick between 2 and 6 players. The more you pick, the more you can win. Or you can stack the same player together with different stat projections like rushing yards and touchdowns. Or in basketball, you can do points, rebounds, and assists. 3 different stacks together with the same player, depending on which games you are watching. It's very easy to play. It's very fun. All you have to do is download the app at prizepicks.com. And when you do, use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup at Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
right, player. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort. Now open.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by IHOP, introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu, available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Got Darren Smith standing by. His thoughts on Craig Stammen and SDFC's playoff showdown on Sunday against Portland, coming up after traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. You got a paint bucket that fell off of a truck southbound on the 805 at Balboa Avenue, taking out the left lane to 15 southbound at Poway Road. There's a crash off on the right shoulder, and the 5 north at National Avenue, another accident. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Poway, by the way.
Thank you very much, Sue. Sue tries. She's filling in for Kelly. You know, sometimes the Sunday traffic reporter has to come in. But yeah, that was Poway Road, I believe we just heard. Darren Smith is joining us here on 97.3 The Fan. Good Friday morning to you, Darren.
Oh, go ahead and unmute yourself there, Darren. Go ahead and unmute yourself there, Darren.
Darren's muted. Hi, Darren.
Sorry.
There he goes.
Hey.
Woods doesn't mute himself. Darren does mute himself.
Yes.
It's always a problem.
You're good now.
Okay.
Hi, buddy.
Good?
Good morning.
How you doing?
Yeah. All right. Good. Hey, remember that clip we used to have of Jerry Coleman saying, talking about Randy Jones and calling him the little guy from Poway?
Poway.
Now, I had a great aunt who lived in Poway for 90 years, and she called it Poway too. I think the old school people sometimes called it Poway.
I think that's right, because I remember playing that clip and thinking, what was that all about? And Randy said, yeah, when I lived there, that's what that's how everybody called it. Everybody called it Poway. So,
but no one called it Poway.
Poway.
I had a po' boy yesterday at Disneyland.
No, I don't even know how to say it.
I know.
I think in my head, how do you even say it?
I know.
Poway?
Well, I listen, I don't like to bring back old stuff, Darren, but I remember last week we talked to you and I said, hey, we got to wrap this up in Portland. You said, well, wait, I'd like to get another game check out of this whole deal. Well, your wish came true, and here we go. Game 7, essentially, game 3 and for SDFC. But you're going to get that check, but you're going to be biting your fingernails to get it, dude.
Already am.
I know.
They're already gone. I know. It's like the first thing I think about every day when I wake up now. Like, oh man, this game. But it's exciting. and I've been around it a little bit this week. I went out there and talked to them, and we'll be out there a little bit later. And I think the approach is great. It's one of those sort of mind games that, well, I'm sure we'll talk about when it comes to the role of coaching. But, it's not like, well, we have to play a game 3. It's like, hey, we get to play a winner-take-all game in front of our fans on a Sunday at Snapdragon Stadium. Like, it's what you came to this football club for, is to play in really, really big matches. No denying what it was that happened on Saturday night and how much it hurt, stung, took one right on the chin, got knocked down. But, there's a level of confidence, as much as you can have, going into a deciding game in a low scoring sport, right? Where, anything could happen. The ball's round and it's weird, and one goal can make a difference. But I really thought that they were had a great headspace to them, and they just were looking at it as a tremendous opportunity to do something in front of their fans and put their names a little bit into the history of all the great sporting events that have happened right there on that piece of property.
It's definitely, we talked to Craig Elston about it on Monday, and he said, the one thing that bothers me a little bit is that Portland now goes, great, we know exactly how to beat these guys. We just get them to PKs. And, has there been more of an emphasis on, like, that would make, as the coach, it would make me panic, because I'd go, we're going to have to score 4 goals, like, out of the chute, and then play defense. It would change it. For me, I know Mikey Varas is not a guy that's going to go in there and panic. I know that. That's why I'm here and he's where he is. But, what is your kind of perception on Craig's take that Portland now knows, they can play completely different and, just try to get it to PKs at the end?
Yeah, they can try. But that's an easier thing to say than to do. And, I think that's one of the fascinating aspects of the game, is that there's not going to be, unless I'm totally, will be completely shocked. SDFC is what it is. They're going to come out there with the same formation. They probably will come out there with the same lineup. This is how we play. If we do this, we've won 19, now 20 times, if including the first playoff game. We're not really here to surprise you. Whereas Portland has had 4 different formations in 4 different matches. Portland sort of let's just see what happens in real time. We don't know. We got to figure this out. Sub this guy and sub that guy out. Make a change here, make a change there. Throw a little wrinkle at him. And SDFC's like, hey, we're really good. Like, we're really, really good. And if we execute, then, I think we're going to feel good about our chances in winning the game. So, I do think you're right. I think when we get to the 75th minute here, if this sucker's tied, you're like, oh, man, I really hope this thing ends somehow in regular time. I hope it's not going to go to one of those PK shootouts. But then again, if you think about a PK shootout, like, how unlikely was some of the things that we even saw there? How unlikely is it that you're going to see 3 guys that are going to go over, 2 over the bar, 1 hit the bar in consecutive opportunities. So, I think the plan is like, hey, we've won a lot of games. We're really good. And we are predictable, but, we're predictable in a way that everybody knows, what we're trying to accomplish here. And we're just going to out-execute you. And, maybe the refereeing was a little screwy on Saturday night. There were a ton of fouls called. Mikey wasn't really moaning about that as much as he was just pointing out, hey, they fouled us 14 times in the first half. Like, where were the yellow cards? They weren't there. They were allowed to carry on with a certain style that was advantageous towards Portland. Will that happen again? I'm not so sure. But I do think that they believe that if they play the way that they have played all season long, which has led to all of this unprecedented success for an expansion team, that, that's who they are. That's their identity. And they're going to be fine because it works out for them way more than it doesn't.
Fired up.
Darren, what's your thought on penalty kicks just in general as a way to decide games in soccer? In baseball, we talk about the Manfred man, but you don't do it in the postseason because that's not real baseball. So you don't do it, but you do penalty kicks in the playoffs in soccer, which is not, real soccer necessarily. What do you think?
I'm sort of fascinated by it just because it's the reality. I don't like having to immediately go to penalty kicks. In most of these situations, you will play your full 90 minutes and then you play 30 minutes of extra time. And that's not the case here. This is the situation where you go right into penalty kicks. So why is my light blinking there? Anyhow, I don't love that, especially given like the emotional moment of giving up a goal at 97:48 on the clock. Right. And it's like, all right, 3 minutes later, pick your penalty shooters here, figure it out, I talked to the goalkeeper, Pablo Cisniega, about that this week. How did you go from, oh, geez, I just gave up this goal to like, all right, I got to figure out how to save some penalty kicks now. So I don't love that immediate turnaround. But I am fascinated by it. I don't think it's as random as flipping coins. And I think there's a psychology to it, trying to get in everybody's head, from the goalkeeper to the penalty kick taker to, they have so much data now, like all these other sports. I mean, there's so much data about what guys do in their previous penalty kicks, even if there's not a lot of history. So, ultimately it's about execution and psychology, and it's about having the nerve to stand there and do it. I also think that's a big part of it. Somebody's got to say, like, I want to do this in this moment, given the pressure of facing Timbers Army and all these crazy fans. I've got to want to do this. And I think it takes real balls to get up there and say, I will be the person that will go ahead and try to get this done. And I will live with it if it doesn't happen. Especially, given that statistically it's supposed to happen 80% of the time. So I am fascinated by the psychology of it. I don't think it's perfect. And I don't like it right at the end of 90 minutes plus, injury time. But, I do think there's a little bit more depth to it than some people choose to believe.
Talking to our pal Darren Smith here on Ben and Woods this morning. I was in line for Space Mountain yesterday with my kids. Darren, of course, the news broke when I was gone. Poor reflection on me as usual. Thank you, Padres and front office, for that. And
first thing I asked AJ Preller about, like, did you wait until Woodsy was gone to do this? And he said, absolutely.
Absolutely,
yes.
He did. Yeah. And it happens
of course
almost every time. But so I'm in line for Space Mountain. I get it. I text Paulie back immediately. No effing way. That was my very first way that I looked at it. And I think I was just shocked. What was your kind of reaction to it? And where do you stand today?
Yeah, I think a couple of days ago, I just started looking at this list, and I felt like I was getting fatigued by it.
Yeah.
The presumed three favorites. I was like, I mean, it feels like there's got to be somebody else, respectfully to the candidates. I do think it was just sort of the fatigue of us looking at these three names over and over and over again. And Craig Stammen, I think the same reaction. Craig Stammen, like it's
like what?
And then after a minute. You say, you think, okay, let me think through this logically. I think it doesn't take long. You have to process this on a logical level, not on an emotional level, although, good luck to everybody on social media with that.
Right.
Because you have to start thinking, okay, yeah, I do remember that he was really beloved as a teammate. I do remember that he was a guy that had a lot of history, that he's got a lot of respect. I do know that he's been in the organization. I do remember, you start piecing it together and you start building a case, I think, for why it makes sense more than maybe why it doesn't. It's not exciting, but I don't think it's intended to be exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's intended to speak to, somebody who the general manager has worked with, who baseball operations have worked with, who, is connected to the clubhouse, who has internal knowledge as to how the organization works, which I do think there's value in that. I'm not saying that an outsider would have been unwelcome, in my opinion, but I just think it required a little bit of thought before you even started wrapping your mind around it, because the name itself in a vacuum is like, that makes no sense at all, until you start thinking about all the things that people have said about Craig Stammen over the years.
Well, our pal David J., who you know as well, put in the chat earlier, and I wanted to give this comment some credit because I think he's right. I think the main job of a manager is, you got to get the lineups out. You got to make in-game decisions. You got bench coaches for that. You got a lot of people you can lean on. Communication is of utmost importance. And by all accounts, he is an excellent communicator. Right? Mike Schilt, not an excellent communicator. Now, I can't speak to how he spoke to his players and things like that. That actually worked for him, but to everybody else, I wouldn't say that his communication skills were great. From what I understand, Craig's are. Ben made the point too off the air that he was the players rep for this team. So he's going to be always he sided against management for the players when he was here. So he was a guy they respected enough to appoint that job, which is not an easy job at all. So I thought that holds a little weight and gravitas in the room as well.
Sure. And I think all those things are valid, but here's the difference now. You're the manager, you are an extension of the front office now, right? So, you do work for the team. You are not part of the players union anymore. So, your role has to change to an extent by the definition of your job. So, those things that might have made him beloved now, he has to work with AJ Preller and work with AJ Preller's team sometimes to do things. It's not necessarily an us against them. It's us against them. I'm the players rep. It's us, and we're going through COVID and we have to fight for X, Y, and Z, right? So, I do think there's a little bit of a change in that, but it doesn't make him any less effective as a communicator, and I think some of those character traits absolutely are valid. It's funny, you hear everybody, the way people speak about Craig Stammen, you're like, boy, that was like what people said about Trevor Hoffman too. Like Trevor Hoffman, great teammate. Everybody loved him. Everybody turned to him. It was rare to have a reliever who did all these things, who could communicate with position players and across the board, and everybody would turn to him, and media respected him and the like. Trevor just never wanted to do it, but it kind of makes me wonder if Trevor wanted to be a manager, would he have found himself with this opportunity? But I also think, Woodsy, your point is spot on too. Like, I don't know what these teams want from these managers anymore.
Right.
And I think that's what makes it hard for us to know, Tony Vitello or Blake Butera,
right,
or Craig Albert. Like, I don't know exactly what it is that these teams are asking from these managers. And that's also what makes it hard to analyze it on the outside, because, what we all think a manager should look like or sound like, or what a manager's role should be, isn't always matching the job description internally. So, I mean, I remember just a handful of conversations with, I can tell you this, let me forget about my stupid story. I bet you there are a lot of people in that building on every floor of Petco Park that are happy that he is the guy, because, I think they're going to enjoy going to work a little bit more. What does that have to do with results? I don't know. I mean, I don't have an answer on that one, especially since we don't even know what this roster is going to look like and where the organization is going. But I do bet you that there's a lot of people in a lot of different departments that woke up today a lot happier than they were a couple of months ago, and will enjoy going to work a lot more because Craig Stammen is there. He's a guy who did a lot of things. Sounds like a silly thing. You go on the road and you have an off day. Craig Stammen would set up golf for, half the team. And like, he would do all those things. And people would go, well, what difference does that make? John Smoltz used to do that stuff with the Atlanta Braves. So, like, people loved him as a teammate and people love Craig Stammen as a teammate. I'm rooting for him. Again, like I said, I don't think it's one that we weren't going to ever pop champagne and throw confetti on this hire, but it's like, okay, I'm open-minded. Let's see what it is.
Darren, we've seen more than our fair share of introductory news conferences for new managers in this town, and in the long run, they don't matter at all. We've seen Dan Campbell look like a buffoon. He's a pretty good coach. We've seen Andy Green won his press conference. No doubt about it. He was very impressive. Wasn't a great manager, but
didn't have a lot of talent.
At the same time, when you're trying to convince a fan base quickly, what do you want to hear from Craig Stammen on Monday when he is introduced by the Padres?
Not much. I mean, like you said, I don't put a lot of value in that. I guess because it doesn't matter what he says to any of us. Mike Schilt had a lot of interesting things to say into a microphone. I think it's more important, what it is that Manny has to say. I guess he could say all the right things and talk about, Peter Seidler's legacy and all that sort of stuff. I guess I would want to just hear him confidently talk about, that he's here to win and that he's convinced. I mean, really what I want to know is, how did he go from interviewing candidates to becoming a candidate? That's like, I want to know that stuff. Yeah. I don't know that there's anything sort of statement wise that's going to get me all riled up and go, yes, this is the right guy. I would love to know that detail. I can see watching these interviews going like, God, these guys suck. Like, these guys are a bunch of losers. I could get this job, like that's kind of what I want to know. So I don't know that we're going to actually get there, because now he's an extension of the front office and AJ Preller, which means he probably will not be willing to to volunteer a lot of information. But I just think let's find out. Give us a little glimpse as to what it is that has all of your former teammates raving about you and the respect and reverence that they have for you.
Yeah, ultimately, I agree with you. What he says on Monday doesn't matter in the long run. I do feel like there is a portion of the fan base that's on the fence about this hire, and
sure,
he'd like to get a few more people in San Diego behind him. a choice soundbite or two would not hurt his cause on Monday.
I've managed
I would want him to say,
head.
wasn't that an amazing win for SDFC last night?
Yes.
That was epic. That was absolutely epic. Congratulations to Manny Machado, Chrome and Azul, all the way to MLS Cup.
Yes, 100%.
Jace Tingler, that was not the all-time best
I've managed a lot of games in my head.
Yeah, not great. That was not great.
That killed me.
I mean, again, you guys have probably talked to him.
Great dude.
Fine.
It's great dude.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. They've all been fine. It's just, can he stay? That I want him to see it to the end. If he's here, please don't walk away and be dreaming of another game. Is he going to go play the Nationals and be like, man, I had some good years here. I just always picture myself in that dugout. If that happens, I think I'm done. I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. 2 years later, what are you going to be doing in 2 years?
That's right. That's right.
Are you next in the cycle of people that are going to retire in a couple?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
he's young. He's 41. He's 41. Again, good communicator. We'll see, man. It's all about wins. That's really you want your fan base to love you. You got to win baseball games. You can't do that on Monday. You can't win a game on Monday. So
you can't. And, there's also a million questions. Who's going to set up a spring training? These are all the things now that you really have to think about. So, are they going to hire a bench coach or are they just going to go with the same staff? I just, again, give us a little bit of, for people that weren't paying attention, because it's easy to go find these old clips of him from Zoom calls during COVID and be like, I don't know, not very inspiring to me. But, just give us, I think let us in a little bit. Show us the side of Craig Stammen that was so beloved to everybody, apparently, that came across him. And I think you'll be fine. I think that's, again, not really fully understanding even what his job is anymore in 2025. Like just give us a glimpse of that. And I think you're headed in the right direction.
Darren, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Good luck to SDFC on Sunday. Hopefully when we're talking to you next Friday, it'll be about a conference semifinal matchup coming up in another week or so. So good luck to the team, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
Excited for it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Darren Smith, love having him every week on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. When we come back, second half of Ben and Woods includes Take on Woods. We got our biggest fan announcement. We've got a still NFL threesome that we didn't get to yesterday. And when we return, the surveillance state is real.
Oh, Big Brother is listening.
We will explain when we come back next year on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we're halfway home on a Friday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. I would say it's great to be back with you guys, but holy smokes. People lost their minds a little bit. That's all right. I get it. I totally understand. I don't. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Hey, did I tell you guys what happened? I was supposed to be at Disneyland today. Did you guys know that?
I think I remember having it in my calendar as today, and then you changed it. But why? No.
Well, it's been a whole thing. So we were supposed to have a flag football. We're supposed to have a flag football doubleheader tonight. Okay. So then it was going to be.
How long are those games, by the way?
They're like
an hour.
They're like maybe 8-minute quarters, something like that. They're not long. So they were supposed to play today. So we moved Disneyland to yesterday. However, the games have been canceled tonight. They've been postponed till next week. So we'll play next week a doubleheader. But now what it's opened up is my 5-year-old's birthday has now become a 3-day Coachella-style event. So you can get your wristbands at taylorsbirthday.com. And I'm going to charge like $400 because one day's already passed. Yesterday we had the Disneyland.
We're able to book King Gizzard and
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is playing. There, and David Guetta will be there, just so you know. So
Taylor would actually have the most insane music lineup for any festival, maybe in the history of
he actually
the world.
would. It would be a lot of K-pop. It would be some David Bowie. It would be some Oasis. It would be some Pantera. He really likes Pantera, which is
just get a little bit of everything.
He likes Black Sabbath. So we did the Disneyland yesterday. So this morning I'm lying in bed with my wife. She goes, where should we take Taylor for his birthday dinner tonight? I go, what? She goes, yeah, he loves Benihana. I go, okay. So we did Disneyland yesterday. Tonight is Benihana. Tomorrow is his actual birthday party at Sky Zone. So I'm like, all right, are we doing, this is where we're at now for our 5-year-old's birthday. It's a 3-day wristband, invite only, 72-hour blowout for a 5-year-old, man. So listen, whatever. I'm down to celebrate. But it's really taken on a life of its own at this point.
If you wanted to complain about it, though, usually this studio is a safe spot.
Correct.
Safe space.
Usually.
During the breaks, the microphones are off. We can open up to each other and gripe about whatever's going on in our lives, or even here at work, because guess what? These are soundproof studios.
Right.
You can't hear what's going on behind those walls. It's a tight circle in here. We're in the circle of trust, Greg, right here, the three of us.
Yeah.
But we got a weird email yesterday from our engineers. Remember that noise that we had earlier this week that the microphones were making and would just kind of randomly interrupt us during the show?
I got it right here. This is, I think, Monday.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, that was wild.
That was weird.
Oh,
it's still here.
It's back.
Like it's like the start of Independence Day.
It was almost like that high pitch, like a dog whistle, like that dog noise that triggers that.
Yeah.
It was almost like that high of a frequency.
It was. And so we didn't know if it had just happened on our show. Turns out they've been experiencing this for a while, and they've heard it. It goes out onto the air. It goes over the stream. Everybody hears it. So it kind of freaked us out. So we asked the engineers, and they said they're going to look into it, and they have done extensive work, and they think it may be from a microphone. They're just not sure. Now, I haven't heard it today. I haven't heard it at all until you just played it. That was actually, we played it. But we got an email from engineering yesterday that said, hey, just so you know, as we get to the bottom of these sounds and stuff, we're going to be listening to everything in the studio. The mics will be off, but we can hear what you're saying. So the three of us have had to do this show today and then just sit almost in silence to keep from not, not
that you've ever said anything that you might regret other people hearing during a break.
I mean,
like Adam or anything.
Well, I just say that about Adam on the air. Anything I've ever thought about Adam, I've just said it on the air. You know, so that's I really have nothing to hide in there. But like the engineers could literally, when we go to break here in a few minutes, turn the mics off. They could be sitting at their computer listening to go, oh man, F this place, or oh, I can't believe so and so did this or that, or my wife's doing this. Like, you can't say a word. Oh,
I swear to God,
shut up.
On my life.
That's not you?
That's on my life, I swear to God, I did not do anything.
No.
Oh, they're listening. They can hear us. Oh my God.
Still doing it.
Haven't heard it in 4 days.
And then we start talking about it and it comes back.
Nobody's going to believe us.
I need to know when this thing ends, though. Like, I can't
get your privacy rights restored.
I can't work here if I can't vent off the air.
Revoked for Stephen Woods, Ben Higgins, and Paul Reindl.
I cannot work here without being able to vent after a break.
They're listening, and they must be messing with us in the back over there.
This is crazy. That is crazy.
We did not hear it all day yesterday. We did not hear it all day the day before that. The last we had heard it, and it was the only time we had heard it, I think, at least on our show, was Monday. But they had been reaching out to me for the last couple of weeks and saying, hey, the other shows have mentioned some sound. It's like a whooshing noise or something through the mics. Have you heard that? And I go, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Then it hit.
Then it hit Monday.
And it
haven't
hit hard.
heard it since until we talked about it just now. And there it is.
It's not me farting, sleep, Esco.
They accuse Ello of that too, and he gets apparently mad about it. It happened on Wednesday. Gator Padre says to Gwen Chris.
I don't do the squeaky. You'll know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's not.
Excuse me.
Ben does the squeaks. I don't do the squeaks. You're
What
more.
makes you think that?
I don't think I've heard one before. He's very embarrassed to do it. So it's not me. I would wear it. I would just go into the mic. I don't care.
I'm more of an SBD kind
Yeah,
of.
silent but deadly.
Yeah.
Just made me throw up my mouth a little bit. I was also thinking about that po' boy I had yesterday. So it was not the most ideal. It's not the most ideal combo. The SBD and the po' boy mix.
Ben seems like a squeaky farter.
He does. He is. He does, and he is, and he will.
Farts always have been and always will be funny.
Always. They'll never not. Alien noises and your company spying on everything you say. Not as fun at all. So
It's good to know that at any time they can.
Is it good to know? Isn't that
well, it's terrifying, but I guess it's better to know than not know.
We're gonna have to start doing like they did.
But don't you want if you work in an office, you want to have a room where you can go in?
Of course, the venting room.
The venting room.
Remember in Goodfellas? No, Casino. When the lip readers were watching the guys, they're like, "Hey, go kill that guy later." They have to cover that. We're gonna have to like go into the corner and be like,
"We need to learn ASL over the weekend."
Yeah, I would have to go to
Ruben Nabel on the mound. Yeah. That's what they do. They have to cover their mouth every time.
I have to grab Ben and be like, "Hey, Adam's driving me crazy."
Like
the
whisper
NFL
coach, they put the playbook over their mouth.
But even they can still hear what I'm saying if they can't read my lips. Can hear it. Yeah, this sucks. This sucks. That's like, All right. Well, I'm sure. I guess it's a good lesson. Just clean it up. Clean it up. Don't say anything that you wouldn't want somebody to hear. It's a good lesson in life.
It's true.
It really is.
You never know when someone might be listening.
Ben's pretty good about it too. Like in text, because I will vent like a madman in text. And he responds, but he never like agrees or vents back. He rarely vents back. I don't think he wants it in writing.
Well, we're not on like Snapchat or some sort of app where they're all deleted either. But it's like a record. Like if you ever went to court, they could pull every text you ever sent.
Right. But like you don't have to worry about me being like, look what Ben said about Tony Gwynn Jr. And there's been plenty. No, I'm joking. There's not. He won't say anything. He won't say anything bad about anyone.
I'm just hoping next year I get a happy birthday text. If I'm good enough this year, Tony, will I get a happy birthday text next year when I'm 51?
It's such a good lesson. Like if you never know, so just literally don't say anything at all.
Right.
Which is great.
All right. Just never say anything at all.
What a great way to live. Great way to live. I love it. Everything's great. Everything's super cool.
We need a contestant for Take on Woods. You will be on the radio. They will be able to hear you when you battle Woodsy in our musical trivia contest. A chance to qualify for a trip to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar That is coming up in our next segment. If you'd like to be our contestant, call now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Take on Woods coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, Woods and I want you to wrap up your week by thinking about your family and what would happen if something should happen to you. I know you don't like to think about those things, but wouldn't you rather have them protected, taken care of, and able to access whatever you've left them in, like monetarily, by having a trust and having them avoid probate court? You can do that with trustandwill.com.
Yeah, man. I just wanted something that was going to be, I wanted to do it, and I just wanted it to be simple and affordable, and it was all of those things. Go to trustandwill.com, use the code radio20 when you check out for 20% off of your trust or will, and they do make it very, very simple for you to get through this process, which always kind of scared me. And to know that it's this easy to get that peace of mind, guys, it's a click away, man. Trustandwill.com.
I get putting it off. If you had to go to a lawyer's office and you were going to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on this, is like, never mind. But it's so easy with trustandwill.com. No more excuses. Get it done. Get those documents in a filing cabinet in a safe somewhere, and take advantage of the special Radio 20 for 20% off your trust or will at trustandwill.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Had Darren Smith on in our last hour on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Before we get to Take on Woods, I just wanted to make a point because Darren like spews good points when I don't think he's even trying to. And at the end of the interview, he said something about there were a lot of people in that building who were really happy
100%.
when Craig Stammen was hired as the manager. And we remember the story that came out when Mike Schilt left, that there were some people in that building, members of the coaching staff and the staff, who did not feel that they were treated that well by Mike Schilt. And it's not nothing that maybe the pick of Craig Stammen was a bit in response to that. Someone who has been known for treating everybody with respect and integrity is the next manager. And again, I'm not trying to bury Mike Schilt here. He was successful in his 2-year run, but he could be difficult on staff. That's not, I don't think that's in dispute, Woods, based on what we've heard as well.
No, not at all. But what Craig Stammen will ultimately be judged on by the fans is how many games he wins.
Right.
And Mike Schilt won 183 games in his tenure. That's.
But I don't think Craig Stammen has lower standards than Mike Schilt either.
Absolutely not.
He'll have high standards when he comes in.
I mean, he doesn't want to come in here and not win baseball games, but that's what he's, I think, going to ultimately be judged on as far as how he does as the manager of the San Diego Padres, his wins and losses. And I feel like, I do feel like these days it should be more of a total package. It's tough to get the guy that's great with the media, guy that's great with PR, guy that's great with the team, guy with that's great on the field, like the total complete package. Maybe it's John Schneider, maybe it's Dave Roberts, right? Like maybe it is, but it's hard to find those guys. We have not been able to find one yet that gets all of that.
Got some parts of the package.
Parts of the package.
Certainly.
Yeah, for sure.
Could Craig Stammen be the whole package? Well,
time will tell.
We'll find out. All right. Right now, though, let's get to our game. We got a contestant on the line. It is time to take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarm Security and Fire Alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Troy as our contestant today. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning, Ben. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Even a few days late. Troy, let's see if we can hook you up with a chance to win our grand prize monthly drawing. It is a trip for two to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar at the Dolby Live at Park MGM. You're going to get a 2-night stay at the Park MGM. Tickets to the show on March 20th and a $100 gas card. Get your own tickets for Sammy Hagar's residency at Ticketmaster.com. All right, Woods is gone, so we'll let you pick the category for our 5-question musical trivia challenge. Your choices: the starting line, all 2-second songs with 5 song titles that include some form of the word start. Bye, 5-song titles that have by as the second word, titles and artists, so blank by blank, essentially. And our new category is Where's the Fire? Song titles and bands, including the word fire. So the starting line, bye, or Where's the Fire? Troy, what would you like to play?
Let's do the starting line.
The starting line. All right, let's get the music out. It is all 2-second songs today, and they all include some form of the word start. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can, but to score the point, you're going to need to give me both the song title and the artist. Up to 5 in a row. Pass if you don't know one. We'll come back if there's time left on the clock. Polly, you got your file open with all our songs? All right. Troy, you ready to play?
Yes.
All right, the category is the starting line, all 2-second songs. Your time begins when Paul plays our first song. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Start Me Up, Rolling Stone.
Correct. Song number 2.
JFK, blown away. What else do I have to say?
We Don't Start the Fire by Billy Joel.
Correct. Song number 3.
And the bass keeps running, and
Pass.
Song number 4.
Gotta Be Starting Something, Michael Jackson.
Wanna Be Starting Something. I'll count it. Song number 5.
Pass.
Go back to song number 3.
And the bass keeps running.
Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it started.
Correct. Song number 5. Time's running out. Oh, it came close. We got 4, though. Very good. Very good job, Troy. Hang on the line. Start Me Up, Rolling Stones. We Didn't Start the Fire, Billy Joel. Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas. Want to Be Starting Something by Michael Jackson. You just didn't get the country one. Starting Over by Chris Stapleton. But I think 4 has got a very good chance today. Very good chance. Troy, hang on the line. All right. Woods, it's all 2-second songs today. I will give you that. The rest is up to you. 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Troy.
Start Me Up, Rolling Stone.
Correct. Song number 2.
JFK, blown away. What else do
We Didn't
I
Start
have
the
to
Fire,
say?
Billy Joel.
Correct. Song number 3.
And the bass keeps running.
Pass.
Song number 4.
Want to Be Starting Something by Michael Jackson.
Correct. Song number 5.
It's Chris Stapleton.
It is.
Start My Taint.
Incorrect. Song number 3.
And the bass keeps running.
Now you need this.
Let's Get It Started by Black Eyed Peas.
It is,
Wow.
and that pulls out the tie at 4-4. But good enough to qualify, Troy. Well played game. Starting Over by Chris Stapleton.
Starting Over.
Yeah, you got the artist too. You were so close there. And the category was the starting line.
I know him. I just didn't know the
songs.
name of the song.
Good game today. Very exciting week. It's
My
been a
goat,
fun
your
week.
goat is not washed. I just tied that game on a last second.
With no knowledge of the category.
Yeah.
Wasn't an obvious one necessarily.
100%. Your goat is still here, Purple, and everyone else that considers me their goat and take on Woods. Okay?
Troy, stay on the line. Paul, they'll get your information. But if you'd like to get on the line, why not? I mean, Padres have a new manager. We haven't done it
Are
in
you out
a while.
of your effing mind? Are you out of your mind?
I just want to see what happens. I'm sorry. I'm curious.
Why didn't you do this yesterday when I wasn't here?
Because
I hate calls when things are good.
We did. We took
we
open
didn't have-
calls. AJ Perler called.
Yeah, AJ Preller called in. That was our one call that we took yesterday. 833-288-0973. I don't know. It may be one call. It may be none still. But if you want to get online, this is your one and only chance, probably.
Fourth down, time to punt for Ben and Woods.
Sound
Next. Oh, kill me.
on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I want to tell you about, Woods wants to tell you about Eco Water. Never mind. All you, Woods.
No. Go ahead. Tell everybody about the benefits and the greatness.
You can drink your shower water.
You can drink your shower
Which I can't
water.
do at my house because I don't have the Eco Water
You
system.
need to get the Eco Water system. It's one of the smartest, most practical upgrades I've ever made for my family. I don't do a lot right, but I was right by getting the Eco Water system put in our home. Look, it's the best tasting water that you can find. We used to have the delivery service where they would bring the big jugs. I like big jugs mostly, but big jugs of water are tough to maneuver around those big jugs. You have to drag the big jugs from the driveway inside. Then you have to lift the big jugs up and put it on. I just got tired of big jugs. So I went to the Eco Water people and said, I would like
What's that now? What was that? Oh my God.
I got the system put in to avoid the big jugs that sat out in the sun baking, all day before I could get home. Then I had to load them. You know how it is, Paulie, with big jugs. You got to bring them in, all that. So Eco Water, they took care of me. Wanted to get rid of the hard water in my house. I wanted the soft life. And you too can try the soft life and alkaline water. Now just $9.95 a month. Call 760-350-3338. Or visit ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
Come on, bro.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open.
Yeah, very surprised. And not a negative surprise, just, a name that we didn't even know was in the running and somebody that I didn't know was willing to step into that role as soon as he has. But I couldn't be more excited about it, man. I mean, obviously, maybe slightly biased because I've gotten a chance to play with him, but, that's also experience that gives me, a strong feeling that he's going to be really good in this role. Just the character, the person, the integrity, the relationships that he built over his years here with players and front office. He's just like the gold standard for what you'd want out of a professional ball player and, hopefully out of a manager.
Joe Musgrove reacting to the hiring of Craig Stammen on the Gwynn and Chris program yesterday. Surprised, but not a bad surprise, he says. And, had nothing but good things to say about his time with Craig Stammen as a teammate. Did not know, though. You a little surprised?
Yeah.
I mean, they keep a pretty tight lid on things. And the fact that we didn't know so many of the candidates, not just Craig Stammen, but Brandon Hyde was one of the interviewees that we hadn't heard about that kind of got to the last level as well. You can't really tell your players because they kind of have big mouths. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If you told a bunch of players on your roster who you were interviewing, they would tell people they know, who would tell people in the media, and it would get out. So Padres don't tell their players who they're interviewing for the manager for the most part.
Would it be weird for you guys if I became your boss one day? I think the answer is unequivocally yes. So that's a concern, right?
I didn't think about that.
I think it's
with Ruben.
I know.
Think about Ruben. They were both competing for the same job.
Yeah.
And Ruben was his boss. He was the coach
no, Ruben wasn't
did
here.
Did they overlap maybe for the last year?
No, I think he was
2022 gone.
I don't know that he.
Maybe. I don't know. But now he goes from potentially telling the bullpen what to do, and now
it's one season, 2022.
Oh, really?
Now Craig Stammen tells Ruben
what to do. Yeah, I think there's something to be said for that. How do you navigate it?
I think my reaction though, if I was like, hey, they were hiring a new head boss here at Odyssey, and I didn't know who was being interviewed, but all of a sudden they found out Stephen Woods is the pick.
Matt Jones breaks the news.
And I'd probably say I'm surprised, but it's a good surprise.
Yeah.
I know from working with Woods that he cares about quality, good product.
Yeah.
He cares about the audience.
Yes.
And that's going to drive us going forward. And I believe in him. So I believe in him as a boss and a manager.
And I come in here this morning, I kick the door down, and I say, are you really going to the phones right now? You're out of here, Higgins. You're done. I'm done with you. Anything else? Go ahead.
You're not my boss, though.
I am
my
not
real
your
boss. Would love me to go to the phone lines.
100%.
If you want to get online, 833-288-0973. First, before traffic, did have some Jeff Passan news coming out this morning. Don't know if it's going to relate to the San Diego Padres or not, but Japanese star third baseman Munetaka Murakami is entering the posting system today. That starts the process for the 25-year-old who will have, I believe it's about 6 weeks is the time frame where he needs to sign his deal. And then the MLB team that signs him will also pay a fee to his Japanese league team. 20% for the first $25 million, 17.5% for the next $25 million. So above and beyond what you're paying him as a player, you also have to pay as a posting fee to the Japanese league team. This is the accepted, smarter way to go for Japanese stars.
Yeah.
When they turn 25, they can come to the United States, make big money like Yoshinobu Yamamoto did. Shohei Ohtani and Roki Sasaki did not go that route.
No.
They came earlier to get their careers started, but they had to accept a entry-level 6-year control deal like any rookie coming out of high school or college would have to in Major League Baseball. But Murakami's doing it the more lucrative way, and will probably sign a big deal somewhere with the 246 career home runs
somewhere
over his 8 seasons in Japan. Well, the Dodgers did exercise the option on Max Muncy yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
back.
Imagine the Dodgers signing somebody for big money and then just sending them down and sitting on them until they're perfect. They could do that. They did it. They did it with their big name pitchers, and they could stash this guy on the bench if they wanted to keep him away from somebody else.
There's also thought he could play first base as well if it's not third base is occupied at a certain team that he was interested in.
We need a first baseman.
We do.
He strikes out a lot.
He does.
Struck out a ton. Like, what was the percentage? It's up there.
He broke a Sadaharu O's single season record in 2022, though, by hitting 56 home runs.
That is quite
in the Japanese league.
An accomplishment.
Now, will it translate to Major League Baseball? Don't know. But he'll be one of the earlier signings probably in free agency since he has to. He's got a deadline because of the posting system.
Be interesting to see what his market is, and the usual suspects will be involved.
Passan says expected to fetch a 9-figure deal.
Okay. A lot of cash.
There's a lot of room between 9 figures, 100 million all the way to 999,999,999.
900 million
billion,
deferred.
From 100 million to $1 billion, essentially, is a 9-figure deal.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, let's check traffic, and then if you want or not, we can see what some Padres fans are thinking about the hiring of Craig Stammen next on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is brought to you by Covered California. Watch out on 94 eastbound at Federal Boulevard. There's 2 crash cans blocking 2 right lanes, so it's real slow through the area. And then on the southbound side of the 15 at the 76, there's a breakdown in the center divider, but further south at 9th Avenue, the left lane is blocked, and this is all because of an accident. Hey everyone, open enrollment is well open, and so is Covered California. Open to questions, real answers, and to help you get health insurance. Covered California, for the love of Californians. Visit coveredca.com. Coveredca.com. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
833-288-0973 if you'd like to join us. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Ale Smith Brewing, celebrating 30 years of craft beer in San Diego. Ale Smith is turning 30 with a tiki party. Join the celebration tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. at the Ale Smith Tasting Room in Miramar. Live music, silent disco, food trucks, slushy, special beer releases, and more. I just didn't want you to miss me saying it. Don't miss the 30th anniversary party at Ale Smith. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We got Rolando wants to check in first, maybe last. You're representing an entire fan base right now.
You're setting
Rolando.
the tone, my friend.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, it's a new era in Padres baseball. The signing of Craig Stammen. When I seen the news on Instagram, I thought he was coming out of retirement to pitch for us. But He's coming to coach for us. So we'll see. You know, we'll see if he could be a leader of men. He'll definitely have a say so in handling the bullpen. And but when it comes down to it, coaches coach and players play. Our stars like Manny Machado, Bogarts, Jackson Merrill, and Tatis, they need to prove it on the field. I mean, when you watch the World Series, the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, they have stars all over the field making plays, clutch plays, and they're definitely all winners on the field, and that's why they were in the World Series. You know, they're all clutch ball players, good ball players out there making plays, and that's what we need out of our stars. Our stars need to be shining out there. You know, they get paid good money. They get paid millions of dollars, and they got to prove it on the field. You know.
Yeah,
and
man.
They got to show Craig Stammen some respect. You know, he's the coach, man. He's the boss. You know, he's a little bit younger than Schilt, but he's in charge. You know, and they got to show him the same respect that they show Schilt. They got to show Craig Stammen.
It's a good point. And you know, I said when after the season ended, it's that weird kind of pointed. It's not pointed. It's open-ended. Do these guys hate losing enough? Do the San Diego Padres and the superstars on this team, do they hate losing enough? I don't know.
Well, I think that's the fundamental disagreement that a lot of people in Padres fandom have right now. I was having the dispute with old school sports radio listener, Pointer Dave.
I love Pointer Dave.
I do too. And he wasn't all that happy with my take on Craig Stammen. But my fundamental belief is that the Padres are in a good place and need to stay in a good place. Other Padres fans think the team is in a terrible place and needs to overhaul everything. And I don't think we can agree on that. I look at a club that just came off their best 2-season stretch in franchise history and go, I don't want major changes. I don't necessarily want Albert Pujols coming in and going, we're doing this, different, this. I like where the Padres are. All they need to do is figure out how to win one more playoff game. You know,
and then a bunch more,
move on.
Yeah.
But exactly, they were one win away from moving on, and who knows where they would have gone after that.
And Ray makes the point too. 100%, Ray. Our offense was bottom of the league. That cannot happen again. It cannot. You know, and we mentioned earlier in the show, you want to get this fan base back re-energized, hire somebody that you and we can feel are going to get these guys swinging the bats the way that they're capable of doing. I don't know who that is. Is it the guy that runs Driveline? Maybe. Is it Barry Bonds? I have no idea.
They've tried everything. They've tried Mark McGwire to Michael Berdar. That's the spectrum, essentially, of hitting coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, you have gone from one extreme all the way to the other in trying to find hitting coaches, and sometimes they work for a little while, and then they don't again.
Yeah, it you know, obviously with the offense, man, nowhere to go but up, really, like next season. But you can't finish 28th in homers and, 15th, 16th and slug and things like that. You just can't. It just cannot happen. You're not going to win anything in this modern age of baseball by having that. So you want to re-energize the fan base, make a really splashy hire of a guy that's going to. That is one area, Ben, that needs like almost an overhaul, right?
I think offensively, they definitely need to. And that was one of the first things we heard when, John Seidler sent his letter at the end of the year evaluating in the organization. I read that as offensively, we need to make some changes going forward. And I expect the Padres will do that. I've come to understand, though, fundamentally, if you think the Padres are in a bad place, you're not going to like the hiring of Craig Stammen.
Correct.
I personally think the Padres are in a good place. You're not wrong. It's a valid opinion to think the Padres are not in a good place.
Sure.
But I also think it's okay for me to think that back-to-back, the best seasons in franchise history, 2 years running, is not the worst place to start from, and you don't want to go back to ground zero. You don't want to start from scratch.
You don't want to start from scratch, certainly. And I don't know that, bringing in a guy that's, again, all the pros are good communicator, former player, knows the organization, has the respect of the guys in the locker room. That's good. Those are good jumping off points. The cons are not the splashiest name of all time. Didn't really know he was going to do it. No managerial experience. And those are all fair concerns. Do they want to win enough? Do they hate to lose so much that they're tired? Like for me, man, I don't like looking at my competition kicking my ass. I don't. I do not. I don't like it. And I've lived it, and I don't want to live it again. And I can't stand it. I saw a tweet last night. I have to be honest here. I had to go back and look through my Twitter to see if I'd ever run my mouth about Craig Stammen. I hadn't. I hadn't. So I Google it, and a tweet popped up. It was the night we got let go from Mighty 1090 when they pulled the plug. And I tweeted out a picture of me.
April 2019.
Yep, me, Bo, and Hannah laying in bed. Bo's holding his bottle of Pepto-Bismol that he used to play with. It's the three of us. And I said, hey, thanks so much for all the kind words, the text messages. I really appreciate it. This is my team, and we don't lose. And we don't, and we haven't. And so I hate to lose. I hate it more than anything on the planet. I don't want to see my competition beat my ass every single
winning,
year.
Though? I mean, in radio, did you break your water?
Whoa.
What is that? Is that the table?
This
table leg has just come out. That's not a good sign.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Of course you did something.
Fell.
Woods lost an entire leg of our giant table here that keeps the station from falling apart.
I just, to go back to that.
What do you count as winning, though? In baseball, is there only one team that wins?
Yeah, World Series.
Okay, but in radio, is there only one team that wins?
Yeah, I mean, not one.
You like to think that we win, but there's other radio shows in town that probably think they win also. How can we both
what you
win?
want? The numbers are tell you who wins and who loses. It's right there for you.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you read the numbers.
Not really.
There's probably there's a Spanish language station that's doing better than us. Do they win?
Well,
Are we
yes,
competing
they
against
win.
them or not?
No, they're not competition. We don't.
Are they?
We
Or
don't
are they
speak
not?
Spanish. No. Yes, if we decided to do our program in Spanish and they beat us, then we would lose. You know, so it's right there for you. I don't like to see my competition.
Can you control everything about whether we
Absolutely
win or not?
not.
You cannot.
Absolutely
can you?
not. Just like you can't
You
really
cannot.
in baseball.
You can't control everything.
Things
got to
go. Things got to go your way.
Yeah.
You know they do, and I've always submitted that it takes an insane amount of luck.
Can
to win
you
a World
do
Series.
everything right and not win?
Correct. Yes. The Blue Jays played better than the Dodgers and still lost the World Series. So
can you do things wrong and still win sometimes?
Yeah.
That's true too.
Of course.
And if you are doing things wrong and winning, you should change. That's, I think, the toughest for people to accept. When you're doing things wrong, but it's working, you still should change and you should start doing those things right. And then you may do everything right and you may lose because that's how sports works. It doesn't always follow the straight line.
But
are the Padres doing things right or are they doing things wrong?
Well, I mean, you look offensively, they're doing things wrong.
They're not getting the results for sure. And I think they should make some changes based on that.
We didn't get unlucky. You know, we didn't get
They
insanely
weren't doing
unlucky.
the right thing and just not getting results.
Yeah,
they were doing the wrong thing.
It didn't work. It didn't work. The strategy, the philosophy, the get a guy over to
But
win by
why did it
one
work
run.
the year before when they hit 190 home runs?
They didn't do that.
They had a different philosophy.
Different philosophy and different personnel. You know, you lost different
Same hitting
personnel.
coach.
Same hitting coach. 100%.
But when it was working really well.
Yeah.
Victor Rodriguez was the hitting coach in 2024.
Maybe it was personnel. Maybe it was losing Higgy and Profar and guys like that. And that's on AJ to not fill those and management and ownership to not get similar personnel.
We all
in.
probably expected 20 more home runs from Jackson Merrill alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Just the way he was
Toddy,
hurt,
yeah. Correct. It just didn't happen.
And by the end of the season, he looked pretty much like Jackson Merrill again, but for much of the season, he wasn't. Was that philosophy or was he hurt? I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into this.
For sure.
A lot of factors. All right, we'll take a timeout. We got to one call in that segment. Will we get to more? I don't know. We do have a Reindl Report to get to. We've got a football threesome, a super sexy Saturday Stinkfest college football schedule as well. Don't go away. Final hour of the week of Ben and Woods coming up next on San Diego's number. Oh, and a biggest fan next as well on 97.3 The Fan. Ben and Woods. Before we get to anything else, 9 o'clock means it is time for another biggest fan announcement. And if we get our biggest fan to call in the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973, we will have a perfect first week of biggest fan qualifiers here on the Ben and Woods program. Every day, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5:30, your chance to call in and qualify for our grand prize, which is a night in our Odyssey Suite at Petco Park next season. 20 tickets, along with the Odyssey staff, the fan staff coming in and watching the game with you. You can register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan, but only one person gets the chance to call in, and that person right now is Nicole Bauer from Chula Vista. Nicole Bauer from Chula Vista, you are on the clock. You've got 10 minutes now to call us at 833-288-0973 and qualify for our grand prize drawing. Good luck. Something very odd happened during the break. Yeah, Woods just knocked over a table leg.
I didn't.
Actually, Mike, the engineer, came in and said, no, someone broke it last week. And it's just been kind of propped up there, I guess, since. But the table hasn't collapsed on you, which is good. I wouldn't lean on it heavily over there. Be careful the rest of the show.
I'm scared that this board's going to collapse. Falling apart, man.
All right. Yesterday, 24 hours ago, this was the moment that it all became official. We were trying to get into a Reindl Report. It never happened. So, Paulie, take it away again 24 hours later. Yeah. Here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
What's up, Trevor?
God, that was funny. That was this week, wasn't it?
That was this week. What a long week it's been. I even had a day off.
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Happy Friday, Paul.
Let's see here. Where to start? I want to start in college basketball. We'll talk a little football, I think, in our next segment. But yesterday, this was kind of fun to see if you saw it. Florida was making their, I think, second game of the year yesterday, and Florida has a kid on their team, freshman. He is his name is Oliver Rue. I think we've actually talked about him before on the show. You might have seen videos of him in high school. He is 7'9". Wow. 7'9". That actually makes him the tallest person to ever play college basketball. He had not played yet this season, and there was about 2 minutes left in the game yesterday. And after chants of "We want Ollie" throughout the whole arena, he put him in with about 2 minutes to go. Garbage time. It was.
Who's he play for?
Florida. They were up 104-64. That was the final. And so he got in, and he didn't score. He didn't really do much. It was only 2 minutes, garbage time. But to see a 7'9" guy on this court, it was unbelievable. I saw a side-by-side of another player on North Florida's team who was 6'8", and he's looking straight up at this guy. It's wild.
Whoa, he is a big dude.
It almost looks like he's AI or something.
Yeah.
Like, put like a double-sized player out on the court.
He is massive.
And he doesn't look...
No, he doesn't look...
totally out of proportion.
No.
He looks kind of normal, except he's
7 foot
so tall.
Well, you're that tall. I don't even like basketball, but I really didn't have a choice. You know?
I've seen that story before.
Yeah.
North Florida didn't even let him touch the ball.
They forced you to play.
They were like triple teaming him and just jumping up. They were trying everything they could because if he gets the ball anywhere near the hoop, it's an automatic too. And
his arms, I mean, probably 4 feet long, right? Like it's an easy just lay in.
They've had to start double teaming Wemby now.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every time. And they've slowed him down a bit, but he'll adjust and they will adjust. That height it's truly an advantage if you can make it work for you.
He's probably that kid that was in like 8th grade that was 6'7", and the coaches are like, "You're playing." He's like, "I don't want to play." I don't like basketball. I'm not even that coordinated. They're like, you're playing. I always felt bad for those kids. They had those kids when I was in school too, like just big dudes, and like, guess what? You're going to be on
My
our
brother
offense.
played with one of those guys in high school.
You're going to be on the
and
offensive
he got
line,
like a college scholarship. And
yeah,
I won't say who, but it was like, I don't really like this game or this sport, but I'm 6'11", and they're making me do it.
Tessa in the chat, she goes by It's Tall Tessa. She said 7'9" would be my ideal height match. How tall are you, Tessa? What size shoe does
7'9"?
7'9"? She said would be ideal for her.
Maybe she's tall.
I mean, she goes by It's Tall Tessa. I would imagine that's your name.
7'9".
7'9" staggering.
He is 2 inches taller than Manute Bol.
How tall do you have to be?
3 inches taller than Yao Ming and Sean Bradley.
Nowadays, yeah,
6'4". I think.
So I'm on the edge of tall.
You are tall.
I'm tall.
I'm
I think we're tall.
6'1". You and
all
Paulie
of
are
us tall. Are
I'm
you
not
tall? You're not tall
Not
anymore?
compared to you
Back in the
guys.
day, 6'1", you were tall, but now,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's considered tall anymore.
I think the average.
What's the average height of? Yeah.
American male. The average male height in the U.S. is 5'9".
Oh,
so
I'm tall.
We're all tall.
You are tall.
Thank God.
4 inches taller than the average American.
Any more to add?
Tessa's 6'2". Yeah.
6'2".
That's tall.
It's tall.
Taller than you.
In heels, 6'6".
Tall drink of water.
Very tall drink of water. Oh boy.
I can't even imagine guarding somebody 7'9".
Can't imagine.
When I was in high school,
can't
you
imagine
can.
guarding anyone
Well,
6 feet.
Maybe Paulie can't. But remember when you play against your dad, like in pickup
Yeah,
basketball, and he was so much taller than
Yeah,
you?
he just
You're
bodies
Yeah,
you.
but your
jumping
dad
up
also
and
couldn't reach up and
reaching
dunk
up.
it.
Yeah.
I had to guard a 7-footer one time.
7
I
foot.
was in high school. I hadn't grown yet. I was like 6 foot, 6'1", and just like looking up another foot.
My buddy had to guard Kevin Garnett in high school.
Oh my
the guy dropped 50 on him. He said it was the worst night of his life.
The 7-footer ended up getting a full ride to Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
Great basketball school. He like never played. He played like a minute a game. He never really developed much of a game at all. They gave him a full ride just because literally he's 7 feet tall.
Just in case.
Like
just in case we need to
maybe
throw one
right.
up.
And
Wow.
I remember following it. He was a couple of years older than us. So after he graduated, I remember following him, see what he's doing in college and everything. And I go, this guy sucks. He averages like 1 point a game.
Yeah.
You're 7 feet tall. It actually made me mad
Yeah.
because that guy was probably 6'7" in like middle school, maybe. And I'm like, at that point, when you hit like a certain height, you know you're going to be tall. You should be in every basketball camp you can possibly
just
get yourself
working on
into.
your game.
Because
Yeah.
even if you can kind of play the game, you'll be drafted in the first round if you're 7 feet tall.
It's true.
All right. That's it for sports today. We got a story here out of Maine. A very large healthcare system out there had to apologize this week because, well, they sent letters to over 500 patients in the hospitals and their healthcare clinics. And these letters told the patients that they were dead and that they were sorry to hear that. And
Sorry
it
you
also had
died.
information on what to do with their estates. Just to reiterate, all 531 patients were alive. They might have been sick. They were getting some health care.
Oh.
They were alive. They got these letters that were supposed to be sent out after they pass. There was a glitch
Well,
in
you
their
should never
healthcare
send a
system.
letter to the person who died anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think it's addressed
to the
regarding
family.
that
Okay,
person.
it was
and
regarding.
it's-
Okay, it wasn't directly.
Sorry to
that
hear
person.
about Mike.
Right.
Here's what you do with his estate. Mike opens the
It
letter.
says the letters expressed condolences and explained information on how their next of kin can handle and resolve their estates. It's called Maine Health was the company. They are saying that they had an error in their computer system that led to this mistake, and they sincerely regret the goof. But yes, 500
But
patients.
imagine if you're like sick,
And
Like,
you
if
don't
you're
know
like
what's
you
going
don't know
on.
what
Yeah.
the future holds. Well, none of us do, but you're ill and you're like, I'm getting treatment, and then you get a letter from the hospital. He's done. He's done. He's done. So this is what
we know.
you do.
We just haven't told you.
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't called
It's
him.
already in our system.
It's already in our system. We have him. We have him. Marked. He's on the list in our Deadpool. He is on there. He's on our Deadpool. So start making plans now. Go to trustandwill.com. That's terrifying.
Oh man. And then finally, gotta be a little careful with this story, but it's actually sports related.
I like these. Ben does not. Look at his face.
No, he doesn't. NFL player Matt Khalil.
Oh.
And I don't know if is he still playing in the NFL?
I saw this. This is
former NFL player Matt Khalil.
Well, Ben should like this story. He can relate.
Yeah, well, he sure can.
If a picture tells 1,000, what does they say? What's the phrase? A picture
tells
1,000 words. Worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So Matt Khalil, former NFL player, his wife, or I guess I should say ex-wife,
His ex-wife.
Haley Khalil.
Mhm.
Now she's an influencer, content creator, Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
She was
life
doing
coach, right? Same thing.
Yeah, she was entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
She was doing a live stream on Twitch with somebody else, and they were talking about her personal life. And she opened up and gave some details about why her marriage with the former NFL player ended.
It's not what you would think.
No, they're actually they left on really good terms.
Yeah, it was not infidelity. It was not he wasn't present. It was.
I watched the clip and she danced around it and couldn't really even actually say verbatim exactly what it was. She wrote it out on her phone and then slid her phone across the table to whoever was talking with her, and they go, "No."
She said yes.
Yeah, the biggest factor in why they got divorced,
The biggest fan, if you will.
the biggest, and I emphasize the word big, was her husband's part of his body, his equipment,
his tenderness,
so big that they could not
the
intimately enjoy their marriage to each other. And in fact, she was in extreme pain, and she said, I talked to doctors, therapists, whoever I could to try to figure out if we can do this. And that was not something that we were going to be able to do. And
she actually looked at, no, I'm not joking when I say this, liposuction for him to go into a room and go, thump, and then they thin it out, make it more palatable, make it easier.
She said, I was going to try it all.
Reduction of some sort.
Therapists, doctors, not even lying. I looked up lipo just to be able to do that with her husband.
To see. She's like, I want to stay married to you, but I literally cannot.
She said it was kind of funny, honestly. It's like my life is a comedy, and it kind of just writes itself. And the guy, that was the biggest factor in your marriage. She goes,
literally,
yeah, our whole marriage, this was a problem, and it just got to the point where I don't know that we can do this anymore. They left amicably. The guy, whoever she was talking to was trying to get her to explain a little bit more. She said he's probably in the 0.01% of the population. It was like 2 Coke cans stacked on top of each other, maybe even a third.
Staggering.
When was the last time you had a Coke can? Do we have a beer can or a Coke can?
No, I mean
3 Coke cans stacked on top of each other.
That's not even human. That's not human. There's no way. There's no way.
Pringles can. Carlos.
There's no way.
Somebody just said I'm red. I'm not red. Am I red? Well, it's because look who I work with. I keep looking over at him. Yeah, what's it like, pal?
It's just no way. I mean, there's got to be some sort of exaggeration there. And don't be envious. Sounds horrible, actually.
Yeah, terrible.
Well, no, I mean,
it literally ended his marriage.
It ended his marriage.
Yeah, he got remarried and she's having a child.
Is that true?
Yeah. And so my first thought was, who's that? What is she? I gotta get a look at her. Her parents are like,
really likes
oh,
Coke.
God. Yeah, big Coke drinker. Oh, my ears are burning. I don't know why. I don't know why. Ben, any comments?
No. None.
I didn't think so.
None at all. Other than somewhat skepticism, perhaps.
You say that as a fellow. Yeah. It's too much. Too many people talk on podcasts, in my opinion. If I never knew that about Matt Khalil, I would have been fine.
True.
I would have been fine. can't believe you do that story.
I think we got through it pretty well.
We'll see. We'll see.
On a completely different note,
stories here.
We've got a day-old football threesome coming your way.
Man, I thought you guys would do it yesterday.
We were going to, and then, of course, they named a manager, so we never got to it. We will still get to it. I even have a Saturday schedule for you coming up as well. Take a quick time out. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3. The Fan. Maybe Matt Khalil should have tried stfatloss.com. I don't
know that that's how it
exactly
works.
how it works.
Do they target certain areas? Because I've got a couple little love handles.
Wait, are you telling me my diet can change that part?
I don't think so, but hey, sounds like they were desperate for options. If you're looking to lose weight everywhere, though, I can not highly recommend enough, more highly recommend stfatloss.com. It's how I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. Did it 2.5 years ago during the summer. Lost up to 1 pound of fat per day, eating real foods that I like. That was the difference for me. Ate a lot of chicken and steak and vegetables that I enjoyed. Ate them in the right portions at the right times based on what my coach, my counselor was telling me. And I lost the weight fast. But then, and here was the magic part, when I was done losing the weight, I was able to keep the weight off and have kept the weight off for over 2 years because I was still eating mostly the same foods. When you go back, you're not going off of mixes or bars or shakes. You are still eating regular foods. It makes a huge difference. There's no exercise necessary, no injections. You're doing it just with the way you eat and changing yourself, changing your metabolism with stfatloss.com. Go online, set up your free consultation, find out how it can work for you, and you start the program now. New you as the new year rolls around in early January. No New Year's resolutions for you. You'll already be down to your ideal weight thanks to stfatloss.com. That's stfatloss.com. Results may vary.
player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Talking to you. Okay. Bye.
Who are you just catching up with there? In the middle of
that was Dr. Lauren Foster. He was my politics professor, advisor, and golf coach at Pomona College. And we've remained friends over the years. And he wanted to wish me a happy birthday. He could not make it down for my party, but he wanted to call a little belatedly. And,
of course, you're friends with one of your professors. Of course you are.
I was like, wait, your old teacher called?
Yeah, your old teacher called.
Old teacher called, yes. And golf coach.
Checking on you.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
That's cool. None of my professors.
No.
Nope.
None of your various colleges, none of your Texas Tech professors or your Loyola professors, Holy Cross professors, or your
Tarrant County Junior College. University of Dallas for one class. No,
not a single one.
Not one.
All right.
Nobody really ever calls and checks on me. I'm usually the checker. I'm the one that keeps all the friend groups together instead of like other people doing it, which it's not ideal, but it's kind of my lot in life. And I've accepted that as like, hey, miss you guys. We should all get together.
Guy.
I am that
You're that guy.
Yeah. I don't really have I have a couple of like dear friends and, but they'll check on me from time to time, but it's mostly me that's doing the the checking.
Someday when we're no longer doing this show,
I'll be the one to check on
I
you.
won't see
you will
you
never
every
call
day
me
automatically.
You will never text me or call me.
I, of course, will check in on
Never.
you regularly. No,
you never will.
You can call me anytime you want.
That's what breaks my heart is that you'll like once we're done, we're gonna be done, and we have such good chemistry. We actually had a conversation yesterday, and we were talking about some behind the scenes stuff.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye.
I said to Ben, and I said, because there's potentially, I'm trying to dance around this a little bit, but I said, the thing that makes us special is that I don't want you to do this, and I don't want to do it. I know you're not the right guy for the job, and you know I'm not the right guy for the job. And in other cases, one person would say, I'll just handle it, and I'll let you know what happens. We're better because we both know neither is the right person for the job, and neither of us think that we're the right person for the job. And I said, that's the ego we've taken out of being a morning show that's worked together intimately for many, many years.
We mostly know our own limitations.
We mostly know, and we know our partner's limitations.
It's secretly one of the great skills in life.
Yes.
Is to know your own limitations.
Know your limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
right.
Not to say
man.
you shouldn't, reach for the stars.
Sure, absolutely.
Shoot for the moon. Don't pigeonhole yourself. But at the same time, recognize that everybody has strengths and weaknesses.
Correct.
And if you can figure out where some of your weaknesses are and complement yourself with other people who can help you out, that's a good thing.
That's right. And
Yeah.
and knowing, I'm not the right guy is part of the journey of coming to that realization to say, I'm not right for it. Neither are you, but I'm not right for it. And that helps. It helps a lot.
Ready for a little football threesome?
Sure.
Day late and $1 short. Let's get to it.
Can Ben and Woods interest you in a threesome?
A threesome would be fun.
No, not that kind of threesome.
Talk dirty to me.
We're talking end-arounds, the best tight ends in the world, and going all the way in this game of inches.
2 inches short, maybe less. Story of my life.
It's the NFL Threesome with Ben and Woods, brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place, on 97.3 The Fan.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Tonight's Thursday night matchup does not look like it's going to be a real
I think it's
exciting
gonna be
game.
ugly, low
like
scoring.
a low scoring,
Really
somewhere
bad
in the
game.
10-7.
I like the
area.
Broncos.
I
in this
like the
one,
Broncos too, but not
it's
by a
gonna
lot.
Be very.
Maybe a field goal.
We'll carry it here on 97.3
Yeah.
The Fan. I don't even know if you want to bother.
Yeah, 10-7, somewhere around that neighborhood.
But, if Denver does win, they'll be 8-2 and have the NFL's best record.
As we all predict.
Despite most football experts going, they're not really a very good team with a bad quarterback, and yet they're 8-2.
How do you don't luck into 8-2 in this league?
I don't think
You
so.
just don't. I didn't think that it was possible, but and I don't want to, you can't take away all the credit.
Their
what
only
they've
losses now, and they did win last night over the Raiders 10-7.
Yep.
Their only losses are to the Colts and Chargers.
Yeah.
Two pretty decent teams. They've won every other game they've played.
Crazy.
All right. Intriguing matchup of the weekend. I think the NFC West is very fascinating. We got a big one on Sunday afternoon. The LA Rams visiting the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, big
Always
one.
a good rivalry. 6-2 at 6-3. Battle sort of for first place. Of course, Seattle's also 6-2. So you kind of got a three-way race right now in the NFC West, and that's one of the better games you're going to get this weekend.
I really like that Jets-Browns game. That's the game that intrigues me the most.
What are the Browns going to do without Paul DePodesta anymore?
We have not talked about that
We have
yet.
not, leaving the Browns to take over the Colorado Rockies.
The outhouse to the outhouse, kind of.
I don't blame the Rockies. They're going completely different direction. They've been the least analytical organization in baseball, and they're hiring literally Peter Brand from Moneyball to run their team. Wow. So, I'll give them some credit.
Yeah, they're trying something new.
Trying something different, because what they're doing
has not worked.
Is clearly not working. So they're going to go in a different direction. I think a lot of people are going, Paul DePodesta 12, 15 years ago might have been interesting. After a decade in the NFL, it's an odd hire. But again, credit them for doing something else. Any other matchups that anyone wants to talk about?
I think Monday night is a really, really good one.
Okay.
Philly at Green Bay.
Sure.
Bit of a reach, but maybe New England, Tampa Bay could be
good.
good.
Could be good
Oh,
too.
Drake May against Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I like that one a
I
lot.
like that one as well.
All right, picks of the week. My winning streak is over. I picked we both picked the Patriots.
Both picked the
last
Patriots.
Week. They
Didn't
won.
cover.
They did not cover against the Atlanta Falcons last week. So try to start a new streak this week. I mentioned him earlier when I was talking about Prize Picks. I like Rico Dowdle and the Carolina Panthers have been playing better football than people think. They have a winning record now. They are only 5.5-point favorites at home against a pretty bad New Orleans Saints team. I think they can cover that at home, rushing the ball effectively. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
I'm also interested in that Atlanta-Indianapolis game because Indianapolis just traded for Sauce Gardner. They're playing in Berlin, Germany. So it's like,
are they? I didn't realize
so
that.
they're like, hey, we traded for you. We also have to fly. We have to go to Berlin.
It's like 6 a.m.,
to play.
6:30.
Yeah, 6:30 in the morning on Sunday. That's actually the game that I'm going to take. I'm going to take the Colts to cover 6.5 against the Falcons.
Okay, Paulie.
I will take a little bit of a bigger point spread. I will take the Detroit Lions -8 against the Washington Commanders.
Commanders without Jaden Daniels, who won't need surgery but got hurt last week. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a big spread, but does feel like it's
That
something
offense
that the
potential
Lions could cover in that game. All right, as well, we're talking football, and it's Friday. Might as well get to the super sexy Saturday Stinkfist schedule. Here's your best lineup for college football fans starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. A Big 12 showdown, Woods. BYU, number 7 in the country and undefeated at number 8, Texas Tech.
Crazy, they're undefeated.
Winner has the inside road to the playoff berth from the Big 12.
Did you see they just suspended one of their players? BYU did.
Oh, they did?
Yes, they suspended.
Drink a soda or some coffee or something?
He swore.
Oh,
at practice.
Did?
Yeah.
Is that really it?
That's a true story. Yeah. He said a bad word at practice and they said, you're out. Wow. I would never work.
If you were suspended
forever, I would never work.
A day for every bad word
I
you
would
said.
sit in a straitjacket in a room. Could you imagine?
Never saw Woods again.
They never saw it.
Suspended
Never
for
to
the
be
rest
heard
of
from
his
him.
life.
You couldn't curse.
He
kept swearing.
They kept swearing, so we had to suspend him.
12:30. We go to the Big 10, number 9 Oregon at number 20 Iowa. This is a pretty critical matchup for both teams to stay in the college football playoff race. The loser is going to have a very uphill climb. The winner has a path to the postseason. That's at CBS. First game's on ABC. And then at 4:30, it's kind of a mediocre wrap up to the night, but I'll go with LSU at number 4 Alabama. LSU with their new interim head coach did beat Texas A&M last week. Texas A&M beat LSU last week. Alabama looking to keep pace with Texas A&M. They're the only 2 undefeated teams in the SEC right now, at least in conference play, and they don't play each other. So if they keep winning, they can't be stopped on the road to the SEC championship game. Alabama against Texas A&M possibly. And if you want to stay up real late on ABC 10, and this one surprised me. I didn't realize we were carrying the game until yesterday. The Aztecs play at Hawaii, and it will be aired locally on Channel 10. It's produced by the Hawaii broadcast crew, but Scripps Sports, our parent company, they produce it. So they said, if you'd like to run the game in San Diego,
perfect.
Go ahead. So
All
we
right.
will.
Now I know where to watch it.
So right after that LSU Alabama game, keep it on Channel 10. You'll get the Aztecs in Hawaii for the late start. Probably won't end until we're asleep at 11:30 or midnight, since it's college football late on a Saturday night from Hawaii. But you've got
what are they
it on your
favored
TV.
by? Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not know off the top of my head. I would not think it's by a ton, just because it is tough to win in Hawaii, and Hawaii's a pretty good team. I have got Aztecs. I hate when you try to click on something and the screen moves.
What time's the game?
It's the late game.
6.5.
6.5. Yep. San Diego State.
More than I thought.
Really?
Hawaii's 6-3, 3-2 in the Mountain West. Play well at home. It's not an easy road trip.
And then the big one. You can't look past these guys to look forward to Boise State next week. Got to win this one.
We talked about it yesterday. They're offering 2 tickets for $40, a little special for certain seats to try to get a big crowd in for Boise State. But yeah, you don't want to overlook Hawaii on Saturday night.
100%. All right, wrap it up.
We're done. Yeah. Let's take a break. Last segment of Ben and Woods of the week.
What are you doing?
Is coming up next. So I thought you maybe had more to say.
Yeah, totally.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by U.S. Wellness Meats. U.S. Wellness Meats offers 100% grass-fed beef, pork, poultry, wild-caught seafood, and more. Shipped free from family farms. Get 20% off your first order at uswellnessmeats.com. We'll set the stage for what we've got coming up on Monday. Kind of a complicated Ben and Woods program on Monday morning.
A lot of moving parts.
We'll tell you about it coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Who wants to brunch this weekend at Sammy's at 7 Mile Casino? It's a great chance to check out San Diego's best card room because the brunch is only available Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., but it was voted the best brunch in the South County. So if you live down there, hop on the 5, head to Chula Vista, get off at E. You're right there on Bay Boulevard, pulling into 7 Mile Casino for cards and brunch Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the itch to go down and play some California-style blackjack, certainly. But if you got the time, Texas Hold'em, always a winner. You got Pai Gow and Baccarat as well. So got everything you're looking for at 7 Mile Casino. We'll take such good care of you when you go down there, too. The food, as Ben mentioned, the brunch is great, but all their food, the 24/7 players menu, phenomenal, smoke-free environment as well.
And they take care of high-limit players. They spread good tables. They've got great dealers, comfortable chairs. So if you're looking for a little bit of a bigger game in Texas Hold'em, you could do it at 7 Mile Casino without the long drive to one of the other casinos that are way out. You know where they are. 7 Mile's just easier. It's just better. It's just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
It's crazy to think about that on Monday at 10 a.m., me, you, Ben, and Paul will all be at our 4th manager press conference since we started as a program together.
Jace Tingler.
Yep, Jace's. We were there. We were at Bob Melvin's. We were at Mike Schultz. And we will be at Craig Stammen's.
The Schilt one was, that was wild that day because I want to say that was like the week before Thanksgiving.
It was November 21st.
It was late, yeah, because Peter Seidler had passed away earlier that month.
Yep.
And I don't want to say like the team didn't go dark, but they weren't like, okay, hey, Peter died on a Tuesday. Let's do our manager press conference on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like there had to be some time. And like that was kind of the first you had heard from anybody with the team. Don Orsillo leading the ceremonies, and AJ, whoever else spoke. I mean, it was almost like a funeral and a hiring press conference as well.
No question.
I believe that Bruce Bochy was hired as manager in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
I was in high school. I was not at that one. I've been at every one since.
Really?
Yeah, I was at Bud Black's. I was at Andy Green's. Then Jay Stingler with you guys, obviously. Then, of course, Bob Melvin, Mike Schultz, and now we will be there on Monday. Now, how are we going to be there on Monday is the question, because the news conference to introduce Craig Stammen is scheduled for 10 a.m., right at the end of this show. Now, we'll all come in, do the normal show at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Gives us like 5 minutes to get down there.
Now, this is the plan I came up with yesterday talking to Adam, because I said, we want to be there, but we can't just leave the show like it's prime time leading up into the press conference. How are we going to work this? So this is what I came up with. At 9 o'clock, I am going to leave and drive down to Petco Park and then go up to the room where they host the press conference. Sammy and Tony Gwynn Jr. will already, or Sammy won't be there, but Adam will be there with the equipment set up for interviews and stuff. I will then start doing the show from there
with us,
with you for a minute. And then at the break, you guys will at 9:30 leave and come down and join me. So I'll do the last half hour of the show without you. You'll do the second to last half hour of the show without me. And then we'll all come back together right at the end, hopefully say goodbye and toss things to the press conference at 10 o'clock. And then Tony's going to be there interviewing Craig Stammen and probably AJ Preller again. And who knows what players might be there and attending, other coaches that might be there. We'll probably get to say hi to some of them. And it's always interesting to see who made it out. Now, if they're not there, that means he doesn't like Craig Stammen.
I had
They may have already had a family vacation, something planned.
I had this debate with somebody in the chat. They go, this will be very telling to see how many players show up to this. And I said a couple things. Number one, it won't be. It won't be telling at all. If there's 30 players there, doesn't mean you're going to win more games next year.
Nope.
If there's nobody there, doesn't mean you're going to lose more games. This is their off season. They have lives. As you said, they have families, they have vacations. Also, they do this every 2 years. So, like I think it does. I'm not going to look around and go, oh man, there's no, so-and-so didn't show. So-and-so didn't show.
I'm in Rome. I'll be at the next one.
I'll come back for the next one. And, hopefully
18 months.
18 months. But yeah, it literally means nothing. And I know it would, hey, if we walked in there Monday and there were 15 players there, we'd be like, wow, this is badass. It makes you feel better. There's no question. You're absolutely right in that. Makes you feel good. Means nothing. Zero. About how many games are going to win next year.
I would imagine that a few of the guys who live here in San Diego,
they may stop by.
Yeah.
Guys
who live in Florida
will not be here.
Probably won't fly across the country just for a news conference. I wonder if Craig Stammen will fly around the country maybe to touch base with some of his guys.
I wonder if Craig Stammen will be there.
I think he'll be there.
I think he'll be there.
But after he is introduced, as Mike Schilt did, I think that's a worthy thing for a new manager to do.
Yeah.
Is a little FaceTime with key players. He already knows most of them, though.
Purple says, nice try, company Schilt. If there's no players there, it's going right into my agenda. If there's 200 there, I will ignore it. That's my guy, dude.
Dominic, you're right. 1995, I was in college, not high school. So, but just barely. It's been a long time. And I have seen many managers come now and many managers go for the San Diego Padres.
Indeed, you have, my friend. You have. And so have we. We've only been here.
I mean, you think about it. Bruce Bochy and Bud Black, it's a good,
long time.
Solid chunk of 2 decades, essentially, with just those two as manager. Since then, the turnover has been quite a bit more aggressive in AJ Preller's tenure as general manager.
No question.
Yeah.
No question.
Kevin Towers was a little more a stick with the manager I got here for a while.
Which I think also made people insane for
That's
a
true.
while.
Yeah,
There's really no winning in baseball unless you actually win. Turns out if you win, you do whatever you want.
Bud Black had him in studio recently. Really great guy,
Phenomenal.
Great manager. Spent a decade, pretty much, just under a decade as manager of the San Diego Padres. Playoff appearances? Zero. Came really close that first year.
Yep.
Matt Holliday close that first year. And after that?
Nada. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bummer. So yeah, we will be there Monday, hanging out. I'm not asking a question this year.
No, I was wondering.
No, I don't want to. Just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
That's fine.
Let me take it in. So I don't want to do bits all the time. I'm tired. Dog tired. Disneyland broke me yesterday. Wore me out.
Very predictable on the order of who gets to ask questions at these.
Yes.
Kevin AC.
AJ Cassavell.
Dennis Lynn.
There you go.
Then probably Jeff Sanders.
Yep.
will get
And
a
back to
shot.
Kevin AC.
Follow up.
Then he'll probably go to some of the TV guys. Darnay.
Yeah.
Jake.
Well, you're a TV guy. Will you ask a question?
And if I want to, I will. But
let's actually put it on the TV guy to ask a question.
I don't. I'm not afraid to ask a question, but I don't want to ask a question just to ask a question. If I think of a good question that I want answered, I will ask it. I don't feel like I feel like there's some people in those press conferences that raise their hands and then try to think of a question to ask once they realize that, they're coming to me. I kind of am looking and I go, you know what? I'd be interested to hear what he has to say about that. And then I raise my hand because I have a question, not the other way around.
Did you see who else was at Disneyland yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts
was also in the torture chamber with his for his daughter's 7th birthday.
He took a picture of the two goofies together.
Yeah. So I asked Bo, I said, hey, if we had seen Mookie Betts, would you have gone up to him and said hello? He goes, yes. And I go, really? He goes, yeah, because he hates the Dodgers. I mean, he hates them. And he won't even wear blue. And he's like, he goes, but I like Mookie. And I go, I'm with you, dude. I probably would have said hello too. Hey, hate your team, talk a lot of smack about him, but that's a hell of a job you guys did in the World Series. He's tough. He's a tough dude to hate for sure. But yeah, he was at Disney too. And he's just there among the people. Like they don't, they're not like special areas for Mookie Betts and family. But yeah, he happened to be there. He probably got there when we were leaving at 1:00 because who leaves Disneyland at 1:00 unless you're my child?
Yeah. I mean, if you have infants, toddlers,
yeah.
But most people, like if they get there, they're there for the day.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's really expensive. They want to get their
But
money's worth.
You know what's funny? The longer you stay, the more expensive it is. If we had stayed, what I spent on
That's a good point.
The longer you stay, you're going to spend more money. I mean, like that's another meal you'd have to eat. The $5 waters, it adds up. So I spent a decent chunk of change yesterday on Taylor's 5th birthday. I'll spend a decent chunk of change on dinner for 6 tonight at Benihana for his birthday.
Be that family that brings along some snacks.
We brought like 2 waters
and parses them out throughout the day, so you don't have to continue buying food and souvenirs. You just do the rides, which are included, so you could stay without spending more money.
Good luck doing that on your child's 5th birthday. I want a toy. I want ice cream. It's my birthday. Like, all right.
Did you go to the candy store? I was.
Of course we went to the candy store.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I didn't get anything. I didn't let them get anything, but they got ice cream in the ice cream.
In the back of the candy store?
Bro, my son, my 7-year-old, with the all-time line. We have traffic. Yeah. My 7-year-old, we're walking up. He sees the sign. He goes, hand scooped. I go, yeah. He goes, they scoop it with their hands? He laid
just grab a cone.
He laid me out, dude. I looked at him. He goes, they don't have the things? I go, yes, they have the things. And the Hannah goes, but wait, how else would you scoop it if it's not with your hand? I go, I want to go to the place that's foot scooped. That's what I want. Bro, I was in.
He wants scoop.
Are there a lot of places that have robots that are doing
I was in tears. He looked at me in horror. He goes, hand scooped.
I've never gone to an ice cream parlor that was anything but hand scooped. If it's in the buckets,
I forgot about
there's
that.
no way to get it into the cone.
Just murdered it, dude. It murdered me.
It out.
It murdered. Hand scooped. Yes. They use their hands? No. It's unbelievable, dude.
All right, Sue is chomping at the bit for a last check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
So clearing an accident on the 15 on the southbound side at 9th Avenue. It is very slow. You've got at least 2 lanes down over here. But good news on the 94 eastbound at Federal Boulevard. We had a trash can in the right lane. That cleared away. But now we're just real slow on the northbound side of the 125 right at the 94. Just a stop and go ride. But no delays to tell you about on the 8. The 805 looks great and no delays on the 5. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I'm having an amusing text discussion with Jamie, the SID at San Diego State, is going, wait, our game is on Channel 10 tomorrow? I go, yes, I just found out about it yesterday as well. He goes,
great.
Oh, we were trying to put together a graphic. You click here and then put this log username to watch. No, you can watch the Aztecs game on Channel 10 tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's the Hawaii broadcast produced, but we will have it for you on Channel 10. He didn't even know. So
have a good weekend, guys.
All right, have a good weekend, everybody. We'll be back on Monday. Craig Stammen, introductory news conference and more. For Paulie Reindl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. The Midday Show is coming up next here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.